and singers specifically sing and perform prior to them coming up on stage. Like,
Okay, who performed for Donald Trump?
That is very common. I'd have to go and check back. I didn't watch the Republicans one to see who specifically they had. People are saying that it was Snoop Dogg. And Carrie Underwood.
And those concerts were at a political
Kid Rock
event.
performed. Were they at a political event? Yes. These are all political events. Yes. Yeah, Santana said Kid Rock. Yeah, so I'm confused.
Okay.
Why do you only apply this to Kamala Harris?
Because I've only seen like the clips of like, I guess maybe because I am supporting Donald Trump that I only see like bad videos or videos that make Kamala Harris look bad when I scroll through like TikTok. So maybe that's why the algorithm is just showing me only Kamala Harris videos that like make her look stupid or bad or.
Again, I've yet to see any of these videos. What are the videos? Could you tell me like what she said or? Like that's something that didn't make sense or was like quote unquote incoherently rambling and not communicating effectively. Because again, I gave you multiple examples of Trump not communicating effectively, and I can give you even more, right? And you still have yet to give me a single one of Donald Trump. Or
I can understand that you're able to give quite a few examples because this is what you do all the time, so you're prepared, right? I'm not prepared as you are, so I would have to go and check. And I'm sure if I do look, that there would be real examples I can come up with, but I don't believe we have the time for me to be able to go.
I hear that from like 90% of the people. They say, if I looked it up, maybe, possibly I'd find something. I think I definitely would. And, no one ever comes back with a clip. Would you like to?
So you're saying Kamala Harris has never in her political career ever rambled and didn't make sense?
There is no clip you would ever be able to show me of Kamala Harris that is at all comparable to even one of the clips I just talked to you about Donald Trump. No clip you will ever find in your life that will ever even compare to just one of these statements. Like the statement that Jesus, if he were the vote counter, specifically in the context of the California election, that Donald Trump would win. Do you think that there's any statement that Kamala Harris has ever engaged in that was as incoherent as that shit?
I'm sure there is. They're both not perfect. You know what I mean?
You're sure there is? You're sure there's a clip that's worse or more incoherent from Kamala Harris? I would love for you to find. I would bet money you can't find one. I would totally put money on that.
Would you give me like 3 minutes?
Go ahead. Take your time, man.
Okay.
Just make sure to come back every minute and a half or so, just so that you can see me, and then go back out to keep looking, so you don't get accidentally kicked out of TikTok.
I'm already on my computer right now.
Oh, okay, perfect. I'll thank some people in the meantime. Andrew, thank you so much for the $2. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Skeet, thank you so much. Really appreciate the $10. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you. And Carolina, thank you so much. I appreciate the $110 for the new mic fund. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It could have just been like the update that I needed. I tried updating things and hopefully that works. It was something unrelated. I didn't think it would relate to like my sound, like me hearing stuff. I think it was the update for Streamlabs. So I think that actually might be the issue. But we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully it's better by tomorrow. Carolina, thank you again for the $110 on PayPal. Thank you.
Kamala Harris spoke out for the first time.
Do you want me to mute you while you look for it?
Donald Trump. Here's a clip of Harris talking to some of her supporters.
And it means so much to me and to Governor Walz that you knocked on doors, you called friends, you called in favors. You said, hey, I showed up at your softball game. Now I need you to show up at the campaign office. You put in the time. It was personal for you. And you gave all that you could to support our campaign. Because of your efforts, get this, we raised an historic $1.4 billion, almost $1.5 billion. Again, I'll say, the election didn't turn out like we wanted it to. Certainly not as we planned for it to. But understand that the work we put into it was about empowering people. That's the spirit with work we did. I just have to remind you, don't you ever let anybody take your power from you. You have the same power that you did before November 5th. And you have the same purpose that you did. And you have the same ability to engage and inspire. So don't ever let anybody or any circumstance take your power from you.
Social media user skewered Harris's 3-week post-law speech.
Are you going to keep going, or can I respond to that real quick?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Can you pause it real quick? Yeah, so
Yeah.
just want to let you know, like, the fact that you thought that was comparable to Donald Trump saying that if Jesus were the vote counter, that he would win California is crazy, because that was a totally coherent speech. That was her talking about and thanking people for supporting her campaign, for knocking on doors for her, for empowering the people, all right, and saying that specifically you have the same power as what you did prior to that point. Keep doing it, keep pushing, and then we're going to make a better country. That makes total sense. That was totally coherent. Like, I actually don't know how you think that's incoherent.
Oh, well, I just ChatGPT. I just typed in Kamala Harris rambling. Find me a clip of Kamala Harris rambling, and that was the first clip that popped up.
So
on
not even
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT can save you.
I guess me, right?
No, I mean, you can go look it up. I'll give you time to go look it up. I genuinely, like, I don't think you'd be able to find anything that is comparable. That was completely coherent. That was definitely not rambling. And ChatGPT scouring the whole internet couldn't find it.
Oh, well, I tried. I appreciate you, Parker. I love what you do. I know we're all people. We're never gonna be able to agree on everything. But hey, I did my best.
Well, I appreciate you. I hope you change your mind. I hope you keep, taking into account my arguments. That'd be great.
Absolutely.
All right. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Because it sounds like you were wanting to leave right there. I can keep going. I have plenty more things I can talk about.
Oh yeah. I'm very aware that you are intelligent, intellectual person. So I'm just gonna accept my loss.
Okay.
And just I appreciate you, Parker, and I love what you do, man.
Okay. All right. Appreciate you coming up.
All right.
Alrighty, let's go on to the next person real quick. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Abigail, thank you for the $50. Thank you so much. On Venmo, thank you so much, Abigail. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it for the Ritos. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Put some W's for Abigail in the comment section right now. Thank you so much. Ryan, thank you so much for the £2. Thank you. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 46.
Do you support Donald Trump?
I do.
Okay. Why so?
I have a border. I'm sure you get this a lot. Border security. Let's see what else. He actually helped with the veterans fairly recently. Actually, in California, he's actually opening up one of the veteran centers for housing the veteran homelessness, as well as resending the funding from the VA in California for illegal immigrants, which it should not have been in the first place. And then lastly, one of the ones would be he's actually trying to open up the I don't know if it actually went through or not yet, but opening the VA on Saturdays. As a veteran myself, that's huge.
Okay. So I have to search. So is there any source that Trump is the one who granted the funding for?
Yes, I can hold on.
Homeless?
No problem. Just give me 1 minute. I was actually going to go over the talk about
like,
what
did
the previous.
Did they provide anything like to help out?
So he passed a bill. He's not moving the furniture himself. He's allowing. He's having. What exactly are you asking?
Like, did he sign the funding for it?
He signed a bill off for it, for the VA to be open on Saturdays, as well as extending the hours. And
I was talking about the
actually,
homeless veterans.
Oh, for the homeless veterans, that's actually in the thing itself. Give me 1 second, I'll show it to you.
For sure. Yeah, I would like to see it due to Trump's policy.
Yeah, no problem.
Because I don't see it was specifically due to Trump's policy. Yeah. Yeah, like for example, the Biden VA targeted LA last March with plans to house 41,000, which was a $78 million voucher program.
Okay, one second.
So I just want like this isn't specifically unique to the Trump administration. It's not like
I know you're
specifically
gonna
due
have.
to
I know
Trump.
you're gonna have that.
Well, it would just be important to take into account. And if we're talking about opening
Well, I
the
know
VA,
that's what you were gonna say, but that's actually he was actually implementing it himself. So Biden himself never actually went through with it, but
what?
Trump is actually going through with it.
They
So
provided the
Biden didn't
funding.
I'm sorry.
They said they provided the
For
funding.
the-
That was the own source.
California. Can you show it to me?
Yeah, that was it was from look up VA uses 84 million in grant funding to help homeless veterans, those at risk. It's from 5 days ago by Chris Benson. And if you scroll down on that article, it talks about how there was 78 million through a voucher program. It's near the bottom of the article.
Which article?
It titled the other one's from UPI. It's titled HUD VA Hope 78 million voucher investment will help bring an end to veterans homelessness. This was in 2024, June 3rd, 2024.
Yeah, this is a later dated. The one I'm bringing up. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm talking about the same thing already existing under the Biden administration, so it's not specifically unique to the Trump administration.
So Trump signed on May 2025 an executive order creating National Center for Warrior Independence on LA's West LA campus to house 6,000 homeless veterans by 2028.
That's
Redirecting
less,
funds
actually,
from
that's actually less. There's 40,000 specifically designated to help 40,000 under
so
the
that's
Biden
in
administration.
addition. So is that in addition, or are you talking about saying that's less? What do you mean? So like you're
this
saying
was from the prior
Yeah.
effect. They passed a bill specifically
but no.
to help more than 40,000 veterans overcome severe hardship and stay in their homes. Specifically, that is something under the Biden administration that happened.
So hold on. You're saying that did he decline the 40,000 previously, or is he doing a 6,000 addition? There's a big difference.
So no, that was already something targeted and addressed by the Biden administration, and this is then
Okay,
something that Trump is trying to do on top of this. So, and this is Donald Trump
On top of it,
specifically.
meaning 6,000 additional.
Can I please?
Yep, go ahead.
It's something that was addressed last year, and then this is what they're doing to
Right.
address it this year. Does that make sense?
Okay, so what you're saying is 6,000 additional. He's not taking away the 40,000 in previously.
No, but like
Right?
I'm just saying that the Democratic policy seemingly targets more people. If we talk on a yearly basis, if they target less people, that's going to be worse than targeting the amount of people specifically that were targeted prior under the context of the Democrats' policy. Seemingly, the Democrats' policy was targeting and affecting and addressing people to a greater extent.
Again,
Like, for
you're
example, right here, it
saying-
said 7,000 veterans in search for permanent housing. That's what the HUD Veterans Affairs Supportive Housing Vouchers would help.
Okay, again, making it. You're not disputing the fact that he isn't helping people. You're saying it wasn't as much as what Biden did. Is that what you're trying to say?
It's not much distinct. So, like, I don't see it as a
But
reason to, like,
so-
support Trump.
It would be a big. Oh, the Saturday thing alone would be. So, can you clarify on the Saturday thing? Do you think that was Biden himself?
Yeah, I mean, I would have to see, like, if the policy could have been done prior. Like, obviously, I would want it to be open. But I can also just give you plenty
Right.
of other things indicating that Trump has cut, like, employees from the VA.
No, there's
And
gonna be
that-
things I'm not gonna always
Can I-
agree with. Yeah,
Hold
go
on.
ahead.
Yeah, and then, like, also, the Veterans Affairs program ended a new mortgage rescue program that helped over 20,000 veterans.
Okay.
That was under the Trump administration. So, like, Trump's been going after VA loans.
I have to look
There's
into that,
something from
please.
NPR says Trump's VA strands thousands of veterans by ending a key mortgage program. So some of the stuff that existed under Biden, yes, Trump did actually advocate to undermine. This is from an NPR article.
So I actually own my own home with the VA home loan program. So what exactly like are they saying about this homeless or what that thing you just mentioned?
So
Like-
it's not
like
getting
what-
rid of
what-
everyone's. It's just reducing how many veterans have access to it.
Reducing how many veterans have access to what the VA home loan?
it says specifically that the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, as of Thursday, has ended a new mortgage rescue program that so far has helped around 20,000 veterans avoid foreclosure and keep their homes.
So you have to meet a certain criteria. In other words, is what they're trying to go at. So the VA under the VA home loan, you still have to meet a certain criteria when you're a veteran under that criteria as well.
It says right here, thousands of veterans were facing foreclosure after there was like an abrupt end to the post-pandemic era mortgage relief program, and then this just meant to address that and help people instead of them losing their homes. So over 40,000 people were in danger of losing their homes, according to an NPR investigation.
Okay. So everyone's situation is going to be a little bit different when it comes to under that situation. I have to look more into that, but under my points or the Saturday things as a veteran.
I mean, Trump cut the VA though.
I'm sorry?
Trump cut the VA.
Yes, but you got to be specific. What exactly did he cut?
Well, he cut the amount of employees specifically that work for the context of the VA. Well, I can pull that back up. Do you want me to name the specific ones? Like, I'm confused.
Yes, I mean, so for instance, you got people that were under contracts, for instance, and those were going to be expired. They were counting those as well. But if you're saying like say valets and parking lot guys, instead of so there are not many doctors that were relieving. There are certain sections in the VA that were being cut. That's obvious. And you gotta get specific on the details.
So I have to tell you the specific jobs instead of just saying that they.
If I was to say, oh, they're cutting the IRS, right? And the entire building, right? Well, there's more than one type of person that works at the IRS, right? So if I was to say that, don't you think I should be a little bit more specific?
If I say that they are cutting employees from the VA, the amount of people that can provide services for the VA, and it makes up to around 20% of the VA, I don't think I need to specify the specific jobs that were being cut because it's 20% of the VA and they're providing services for people.
So those are providing services and the jobs in the VA are two different. There could be two different things. So if I'm working in the parking lot, I'm not exactly providing that much of a service as it being temporary or seasonal.
What?
Am I? So you do understand they're seasonal?
No, they weren't. No, they would say that they're temporary. There's no indication that they're temporary.
Can you show me the difference on how they?
I'll tell you the article. How about you just look it up? Trump administration plans to cut 80,000 employees from Veterans Affairs, according to an internal memo.
Okay. I'd like to see some comment. Is there one thing you do agree with Trump? I'm just curious. Or
instead of addressing, are you using that as a mechanism to pivot away? Operation Warp Speed.
I just want to see how
Operation Warp Speed.
Huh?
Operation Warp Speed.
So you thought Operation Warp Speed was a great idea?
Yeah.
And that was it?
Well, you just said one thing. Do you want to address what I said, and then we can talk about what I agree with?
I've been addressing a lot of things you've been saying. I got to look into it because you're pulling up a lot of data that. Hold on, give me a second. All right, no problem. So, you want to talk about the massive amounts of jobs lost in the VA, right?
Mm-hmm. I gave you an article from the AP News. Trump administration plans to cut 80,000 employees from Veterans Affairs, according to an internal memo. In the meantime, everyone, if you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen. Liz, thank you so much for the $12 on Cash App. Thank you so much, Liz. Jamie, thank you so much for the $5. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. David, thank you so much. Really appreciate the $5. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Absolutely. Lubo, thank you so much. Really appreciate the $5. Thank you. I'm sorry. There's definitely a lot of messages. I will try to, but I can't promise anything. But thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. If you want to support me as always, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. What's up?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, link tree in the bio, as well as the description of the YouTube markets. Thank you so much. I appreciate the Galaxy. Thank you. As well as then the YouTube Super Chat, or as well as you can support me on YouTube Super Chat and the pinned comment on my YouTube. But yeah, go ahead. What were you saying?
Yeah, about only 5% of those were doctors and nurses that were during the
That's still
amidst
reducing
the
access to
shortage.
care. And also, where did you see that only 5% were doctors?
The Guardian. I can get if you want. Look up the Guardian.
Yeah, where does it say that? What's the
I
title?
mean, hold on. Yeah, no problem. Let me. I'll share my screen real quick if you want. Give me a second.
just tell me the title and I'll find it.
U.S. Veterans Agency lost thousands core medical staff under Trump. Records show, and they highlight
that
about
doesn't
5%
sound
of
good.
those. Well, yeah. I mean, if you read, if you're easily like looking at big bold print, sure.
Sure. I was just saying it doesn't sound good. I mean, that's all.
Of
I was
course
just
it doesn't sound
acknowledging reality. You know?
I mean, I think I could find some common ground. Like you do agree that the
It says the number of medical staff on hand to treat veterans has fallen every month since Donald Trump took office. The VA experienced a net loss of 2,000 registered nurses since the start of this fiscal year. 1,300 medical assistants, 1,100 nursing assistants, and licensed practical nurses, 800 doctors, 500 social workers, and 150 psychologists. And the numbers are at odds with the VA Secretary Doug Collins claims that the healthcare would not be affected by an agency-wide reduction of 30,000 workers. Okay, well that's okay. Where does it say?
so the
only
staff
5%?
reductions reported by the VA is represented.
Here we go.
An additional 2% decrease in the number of nurses, 3% decline in the number of doctors.
Yeah. Is that a good
So
thing?
yeah, it's not. So as
Is that
a
better
veteran-
or worse than Trump's policies? Because that already than
if-
Harris's
you know,
policies? Because I
if
think that's
doctor- no,
worse.
it's- any doctor that's pretty good at their job, I would say it sucks to losing their job. To be honest with you, like, are we going to pretend that like there hasn't been doctors in the VA that haven't lost a job under the Biden administration?
Can you give me a source that they did specifically cuts themselves that they chose to do? It says, however, agency data shows that under Biden, the VA was able to attract doctors and nurses. The VA added approximately 10,000 mission critical healthcare professionals between May 2023 and January 2025. Agency dashboard show. That's your own article from The Guardian. Did you hear me, sir?
I'm sorry.
Did you hear me? It said under your own article that there was actually a 10,000. The VA added approximately 10,000 mission critical healthcare professionals between May 2023 and January 2025 under the Biden administration, according to agency dashboards.
Agency dashboards, is that like a website? What is it?
Well, no, this is from The Guardian. That's the same data it was reporting on that showed that the different percentages changed for the different doctors and nurses. This is the same article that we were just reading from. Literally like 3 fucking paragraphs down. Literally 2 paragraphs down. I'm not trolling. From the one you just read. Or 2 blocks of text. There's one in between. Do you want me to put it on the screen?
You gotta pick up at home.
Huh?
Sorry, that's work.
Oh,
But yeah, that may have been a good gotcha. I'm not gonna lie. I got you. So I'm gonna leave you on that, but I'd love to talk to you later.
Oh, okay, for sure. All right.
You have a great day.
Okay, you soon.
Do 30.
Matt, thank you so much for the $20 on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Ron, thank you for the $2. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. Let's go on to the next person real quick. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed here on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up, everyone. You, what's up? How old are you?
22.
Are you driving?
Yeah. Is that okay?
You got to come on when you're not driving. It is TikTok TOS. It is TikTok TOS. You got to come on when you're not driving. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
22.
Do you support Donald Trump?
I do.
Are you driving?
I just parked.
So you
But I'm
were
actually
driving.
DoorDashing.
Okay,
Yeah,
so are you going to be driving at all during this conversation?
I actually just had one question for you.
Bye-bye. Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. If you're not here to debate everyone, do not send a guest request. It says on one of the criteria, ready to debate. If you're not going to hear to debate and you're just here to ask me a question, do not send a guest request. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yo.
How old are you?
Got a TikTok, my bad. What you said?
How old are you? I'm sorry, there's just so much background noise. I got to go into the next person, everybody. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed here on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hi, Parker.
Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Smart people don't like me.
True. Smart people definitely do not like Donald Trump. That's so right. I should like turn that into like a thing where I can just click that every single time. Like I should turn that into a button. Smart people don't like me. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Like seriously, like a Trump saying that smart people don't like me. Like that needs to be turned. You know, like the easy button. That needs to be a button. Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Nick, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $20. Thank you so much for Parker. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Yo, what's up? How old are you? Yo, what's up? How old are you?
You're a lying scumbag.
I had a feeling it was you. Why do you join my live every single day? Do you love me?
Because you're a liar.
Are you my biggest fan? You're in my box every day, dude. You're in my box every day, man.
You're a terrorist.
How so, man?
How am I getting muted?
Are you saying because I'm Antifa? Because I'm anti-fascist? Now, tell me who considers people who are anti-fascist terrorists? Can you tell me that? Because to me, that would be like that would be a fascist, right? A fascist would consider an anti-fascist a terrorist.
Have you seen the chart recently?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
What's the bald guy that's
Okay, well, I'm not going to waste my time with this anyway. Hop back in my box. Spend time watching me. Make sure to tap the screen while you're here. I would really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
21.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Nah, I just wanted to see if you were.
You're good, you're good. Let's go on to the next individual. Frank, thank you so much for the member subscription. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yo, what's up?
CK, thank you so much for the you're amazing. Thank you.
21.
Yo, what's up? How old are you? 21. What's your birth year?
2004.
What month? What month?
Hello.
Okay, let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hey, Parker. I'm 24.
Do you support Donald Trump?
I do.
Okay. What's your birth year?
2000.
And you said you were how old again?
24.
What month are you born?
December.
Okay. If you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you vote for?
Definitely Trump for sure still.
Okay, why?
Just like, do you want all of my reasons or just one?
Give me a few.
Okay, I'll give you a few. He's strong on borders, or at least he says he is. We can debate that later, but he's strong on borders, apparently. He actually supports Christianity more so and brings it into the political sphere. I'm not really a Christian nationalist, but at least like he's talking about, kind of what our country used to be like. And yeah, those are two reasons.
Okay, there's a few things. One, we believe in separation of church and state. There should be no influence of the Christian religion over our government processes. I think that's really ridiculous, and I think that even an atheist could bring up Christianity more. That doesn't mean that you would consider it better, right? Like I could talk about Christianity more than a Christian. That doesn't mean that I'm preferable to a greater extent than to a Christian under your worldview because I'm an atheist, right?
Yeah, technically.
Okay, you're right. So then does Donald Trump actually uphold the ideals of Christianity to a greater extent? I don't think so. Can you give me one Christian ideal outside the context of what you consider his position on abortion, right? Specifically that you would consider upholding the Christian ideals and values to a greater extent than Kamala Harris?
Well, besides abortion, which is a really big one,
it's not
I guess
actually.
Why do you say that?
But no, I'll answer that right after you tell me.
Okay. Well, I think abortion is the biggest, but let me think. I'd say most likely he doesn't. You're right. He doesn't.
You can't.
I'll concede that, but at least he talks about it.
And then here, let me ask you this question. Do you think allowing abortions to occur is morally wrong?
No, not at all. I don't believe in opposing my beliefs on someone.
Okay, well then you agree with legal access to abortion. Well then you're pro-choice, man.
Yeah.
You agree with Kamala Harris. So Donald Trump isn't upholding Christian values at all to a greater extent. Go ahead. Can I
tell you my ideal?
Go ahead.
My ideal would have been it never being legal in the first place. So it's not like I would be taking a right away from someone, but I wouldn't force someone to believe in my worldview.
Okay, so then you agree that it should be legal.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay, if you agree that it should be legal, then you agree with Kamala Harris's Roe versus Wade policy that protects federal access to abortion prior to viability. So that's what you agree with, seemingly. And if you agree with that position, well, then you wouldn't support Donald Trump to a greater extent at all, and you wouldn't think that there's any ideal that he's upholding, all right, in terms of Christianity to a greater extent than Kamala Harris. So then it seems like to me that Kamala Harris is, upholding, Christian ideals to a greater extent because, she actually cares about compassion and empathy and taking care of your, fellow community members, loving thy neighbor. When Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill increases taxes specifically for the bottom 20% of income earners, after-tax income decreased for the bottom 20% of income earners, right? For the bottom 10%, it's up by $1,200 or down in terms of their after-tax income by $1,200 a year because they have a reduction in their benefits. So that I'll give you specifics. 420,000 children every single month will be cut off of free school lunch and breakfast. 2.5 million people cut off of their food stamps every single month, right? Because of Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill. Over 10 million people cut off of their health insurance through Medicaid. And it also adds $3.4 trillion to the debt. So explain to me how that is more upholding Christian ideals and values in terms of cutting off children at school their access to free school lunch and breakfast. To the degree of 420,000 children a month.
I wouldn't say it's very related, and here's why. Because if those things are coming out of tax dollars, people don't want to support other people more so than they want to generate their own wealth in a capitalist society. You know that. But I would argue, I don't know what that has to do with Christianity as much as
would Jesus
Kamala literally saying for Christians that they don't belong in her place. You know what I mean? It's obvious.
That's not what she said. She's Christian herself. And those were Trump supporters heckling the crowd. And she was telling them to go to a Trump rally down the street. She wasn't saying because they're Christian. She, again, is Christian herself.
Did she clarify that or?
She doesn't need to clarify that. That was exactly what it was. That was what happened. If you watch the context of it, she doesn't have to clarify that again when it was very true, very, very clear in the video.
I could see it from that point of view, but all they were saying was Christ is king, and then she was like, "You don't belong here," or something like that.
Okay.
obviously
Yeah.
if they're
No, no.
heckling, but-
She was saying to go to the other Trump rally down the street. Like, because they're a Trump supporter, they're not supposed to be at a Harris rally. They're supposed to be at a Trump rally, right? That's kind of like the
Yeah.
idea that she was getting to.
I got you. Yes, that makes sense. All right, bro. Well, I'm about to head out, but good to talk to you. Thank you.
For sure. Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed here on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen. Brianna, thank you so much. Really appreciate the $10. Thank you so much. Nicola, thank you so much for the $10. Really appreciate it. Lubo, thank you so much for the $1. Thank you, thank you. I actually do not. I'm not looking for a website currently, but thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
31.
And do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Okay. If you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you vote for?
DT all day.
Okay, why so?
Well, you know, immigration to be one of them. The big beautiful bill's good in its own ways.
Did you hear what we were just talking about? The big beautiful bill cuts 420,000 children off of free school lunch and breakfast on average every month. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, small government. That's what we want as MAGA. We want small government.
So you don't
We
want
don't want
government
social
feeding
safety
hungry
to take
children? You don't want the government feeding hungry children?
Well, their parents need to take the care of them.
Well, they're at school. If they have to spend so much time at school, they should be fed at
So
school.
send them to school with a lunch.
What?
Send them to school with a lunch.
You said what?
Send them to school with a lunch.
Okay, and if they don't get sent to school with a lunch, should they be able to have food? Yes, they should still be able to have food. No child should go hungry.
Well, they shouldn't be worried about everyone supporting their kids. That's just a fact.
I think the government plays a role in feeding hungry children.
I think it should be left up to the people.
To like
the
starve
churches.
children? Be up to the people
To
to
the
starve children?
churches. It should, the churches, the food banks, the soup kitchens, if
what
necessary.
So you think the church and the soup kitchen are going to show up to school just to be able to feed children?
Well, they
You think that's a preferable model to free school lunch and breakfast?
You can go to church and get food if you need help.
While they're at
That's how
school.
it should be.
So the kid should
No, on Sunday.
should just okay. So only on Sunday should they eat?
No, they'll go to Sunday and they'll get food for the week.
So they'll get all their food they need for the entire week from a random church.
That's how it used to go, yeah.
Yeah, that's not
So
how it goes
kids
for
eat
everyone. That's ridiculous. Not every single church
banks.
is providing food for the entire week. You don't get groceries from church. That's not how it works, man. You want to know something
Food
crazy,
bank.
though? We can actually provide people access to food through the context of our governmental processes. It's a very small portion of the budget. So why are you going after that instead of going after the tax loopholes that millionaires and billionaires get to avoid paying taxes, right? Or going after the big fossil fuel companies getting massive subsidies from the government and from Donald Trump, right? Specifically, Donald Trump going up to big fossil fuel companies saying, if you give me $1 billion for my campaign, I'll give you $110 billion in tax cuts. Corruption at the very highest. Why don't you go after that? Why do you go after the children getting food, bro?
Well, we all know that all presidents have special interests. Let's face it. Thing is I'm not talking about the debt. We were talking about smaller government, and that's what it does. We want smaller government. Does cutting the tax and stuff like that?
If you want smaller
'cause
government,
it's small.
then how about we do that with the Department of Defense? How about you go after the military budget that doesn't even pass an audit? There's way more
Well,
money
that's
in the
why we're building
military
Golden
than
Dome.
there is in anything relating to children getting free school lunch and breakfast.
We're building the
pro-life?
Golden Dome, ain't we?
Are you pro-life?
Yeah.
Pro-life, but don't feed the kids. I don't want to feed them. That I don't have an obligation to feed them. I could just let them starve, right? I have no obligation to feed them at all, right? But I'm
No, we have
pro-life.
no
I'm
obligation
pro-life.
to
I'm
feed
pro-life.
the kids.
Feed the
You're
kids
okay.
in the womb, but once they get out of the womb, fuck them. Let them die. Do you hear
Is
yourself
there
right
any
now?
stat that-
You're pro-life
is there
in
any
the
s-
womb, but as soon as they
Hold
get
on.
out of the womb, you are not pro-life.
Can you pull out your little notebook and tell me the stat that says kids are dying from not eating school lunch?
Well, no, you're saying
You
that
can
you
tell
don't
me
want.
that.
Wait. Your statement.
Now you're speculating.
Wait, no, listen. No, your statement wasn't just applicable to free school lunch and breakfast. It was applicable to any governmental program that feeds children. Because you think it should just be the private charities doing so and the churches. And you know what's the
Or the
reality?
parents.
When it was just private charities and churches, children starved in this country to death.
Where's the stat? Pull out the little notebook. Show me the stat.
Yeah, prior to governmental programs in the 1900s and the 1800s, children starved to death in this country. Did you know that? Are you denying that? Are you history books, bro? Did you read that in history at all? Did you read about people that were starving to death prior to our governmental programs that provided food for children?
Nope.
No, so you didn't pay
I don't
attention in
believe
school?
it. People weren't regulating on hunting. People were out there hunting. Kids were hunting at the age of 9, hunting squirrels and stuff. They was getting a pew pew from their grandmama.
Okay, so again, you
Early.
think under your view, no children starve to death in this country at all, right? Historically,
Right now
in the
they do.
1900s, no children starved to death. Is that your view?
Right now they do, but it's so minuscule that it's
Okay,
barely
so-
even a stat.
Okay, wait. When you say it's so minuscule, no child should die. No child should die due to starvation. That's ridiculous for you to say that. And this isn't just in the U.S. I believe in ending world hunger. No one in the world should starve.
Well, the reality is that people do.
And that shouldn't
We live
happen.
in a society everyone's not meant to succeed.
That should not happen.
Well, we should have small government. If the government stopped taking all of our money, maybe we can support.
Okay, if you want to do small government, how
the
about you
local
do-
churches.
Dude, if you want to do small government within other attributes, right? Do not do it when we're talking about feeding children. Dude, wait, do you want small government with the border?
What, the 40% of kids that are diagnosed with type 2 diabetes?
Hold up. Do you want small government with the border and immigration?
I think that, it could use some reform, and I do think it's difficult for people to get into the country. Shouldn't be as difficult.
So you want
But I
open
don't think
borders?
it
We
should
want
be
small
coming here
government. You want
illegally
open
regardless.
borders? You want open borders? You want small
No.
government? No. Oh, okay. Okay, so you don't want small government. You want big government to enforce immigration laws. Wait, by the way, he wants big government to enforce immigration laws, but he wants small government when it comes to feeding hungry children at school.
That's not true. That's not what I said.
That's
you didn't even let me
what you're
finish.
saying. Okay, go ahead. I apologize.
No, it's
Go
not.
for it.
I didn't even get to share my idea. But
I am so sorry. Go ahead.
I think that we are a little strict with our border, and we should allow a lot more people in. But I don't think anyone should be coming here illegally. Just like if somebody comes onto your TikTok and they don't follow these little rules you have in place, you kick them out. If they continue to violate these rules, you ban them.
People aren't doing that specifically in the same connotation as they're coming to the country through the context of immigration. You understand the distinction between following the rules on a TikTok debate live to ensure the productivity of a debate versus ensuring that we're taking care of people on a societal basis are completely different laws. Right? You don't believe that there should be restrictions between people moving between states, but you don't think everyone from California and from Texas should be able to join my live. You see what I mean? That would be a ridiculous statement. So obviously the way that you consider borders in terms of your country is not going to be the same as you consider rules within this context. And if you were to violate the rules specifically of going in between different states and whatnot, I still don't think that would justify, or if we were to be okay with that, if that would justify violating rules in this context. There are different connotations to where rules will matter more or rules won't matter as much. And it also depends on whether or not it's a justified rule in the very first place. I do not have an issue with people violating unjust rules. But when they're talking about justified rules on my live stream, I do have an issue with them violating the justified rules on my live stream. Appreciate Christine. Thank you for the hand hearts. You understand the distinction?
So just because it's your justified in your viewpoint, it's okay.
It's that we do not have justified laws, particularly for how long it takes to get into the country undocumented right now. And you already agreed to that because you think people should be able to get into the country quicker.
Well, I think it shouldn't be based off intelligence to get into the country. Let's face it. I mean, they give you up to 10 years to get into the country. If you're smarter, your likelihood to get into the country is a lot higher and a lot faster. To whereas if you're not as mentally capable, your chances are to get in, it's going to take you longer to learn everything. That's why they give you 10 years, because of
I don't
people
think
that
that's
aren't
necessarily.
smart.
I don't think that's the reason. I think it's artificially that they put barriers in place to restrict the ability from people to be able to get into these positions.
It's the reason.
I don't. Yeah, I think you're here trying to blame it on immigrants, saying that they're the reasons why it's taking longer.
Well, no. I mean, the thing is I think we should have more immigrants. I think we're founded on immigration. It's just that I don't think people should be coming here illegally. I mean, do you think it's right if somebody
you want
goes
big
into
laws? You want big government to enforce those laws in terms of people being in the country undocumented who have not committed a violent crime or bad crime, but you don't want big government when it comes to feeding hungry children in the context of school systems.
No, I don't want big government to enforce the immigration. I want them to be less strict on the immigration, but I don't want, and I think that would help people come
You
here.
think Trump
more
is going to be
legally.
less strict on immigration?
No, but I'm just saying. I'm saying I'm glad he's getting rid of the illegals,
Undocumented immigrants, and also that's being strict on immigration, and that's
Undocumented,
big
whatever.
government enforcing the law. So now you're okay with big government enforcing the law.
Well, I think small government can do it too.
Okay, well, so small government can also provide food for hungry children in schools.
Yeah, well, I don't like that kind of socialist stuff, you know.
That is socialist. Can you define socialism?
Yeah, it's when people share the means of wealth and product within the country.
No, that's not what
Basically,
socialism
I don't-
is. So socialism is not redistribution of wealth. That's in the context of a liberal society. Socialism is when the workers control the means of production, like democratically.
Yeah.
That's what socialism
People
is.
say.
This is not socialism,
Yeah, people
right?
say means of
This is just redistribution of wealth within a capitalist system. Okay, that's ridiculous that you just said that.
Yeah, but it's a socialist
and you just said
program.
redistribution
Social
of wealth.
safety
Okay,
net.
how about this? I have a question. So, are you saying that any type of redistribution of wealth is socialism? Do you think police are socialism?
Yes.
Yes. So, do you support socialism?
Yes. No.
Okay, so you want to defund the police?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to? Do you support socialism in the military?
No, I think we should have well-regulated militias within our own means. I mean, but with the amount of money
So
we
you
spend,
want to get rid of the
we
military?
could've- Yeah, definitely. We could have built a force field around this nation by now.
Yeah, we could have built a force field. Yeah, we could be the Gungans from Star Wars. Yes.
We could have. We have laser
Yeah, we totally
technology and all.
could. We totally. Well, can you tell me what evidence you have that we could have a force field around the United States?
Sure, we have the technology through microwave technology.
Microwave
Of course we do.
technology will not create a force field around our nation. Shut up, dude.
Yes, we can.
Give me a source.
Oh my god! Oh my! Are you serious? Hold on. I can go look it up
Push
for
the
you right
galaxy.
now.
Thank you. You go for it. I'll wait.
Hold on.
No. He's never gonna find this. Odessa, thank you so much for the $5 on Venmo. Thank you. Jessica, thank you so much for the $1. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you. Barrera, thank you so much. Really appreciate the $5. Thank you. I grew up poor. Like 30% of my elementary school only ate breakfast and lunch at school. Callers at POS. So real. Oh, they just left, by the way. That was them just leaving. Lauren, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you. Yeah, what is going on today? If you want to support me, as always, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Linktree in the bio, as well as the description of the YouTube, as well as you can support me over YouTube Super Chat and the pinned comment on my YouTube. Also, make sure to follow me here if you're ready. We're on the TikTok on my main account today, so make sure you're followed here if you have not already. Gia, thank you so much. Najia, thank you so much. I appreciate the train. Thank you. I'm pretty sure that's Najia. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you. As well as if you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. Everyone subscribe if you haven't already. We're like almost at 350,000 subs, which is pretty fucking crazy. That's pretty fucking crazy.
Oh, he's putting me on here.
How old are you?
Hello?
How
Can
old
you
are
hear me? I'm 20. How old
What's
are
your
you?
birth year?
2005. June 1st, 2005.
For sure. If you could go back in time and you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, who would you vote for?
Donald Trump.
Okay, why so?
Because he's getting the Mexicans out of our country.
Alright, they're totally trolling. Such a fucking disgusting thing to say. Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. It looks like Matt joined back. This other Matt. Evil Matt, actually. It's Evil Matt. Welcome back, Evil Matt. How you doing?
I'm good. Look up electromagnetic weapons, bro. If we would have invested in this, bro, we can literally shoot.
Wait, so now you want government? So that's socialism, actually. You're redistributing wealth. That's socialism. So
Well,
actually, I
I'm
think
saying
you're
it's not-
I think you're a communist, socialist, Marxist, and no one should support you. I mean,
I'm
Donald
not.
Trump was advocating for 10% of Intel to be owned by the federal government. What is that socialism?
Well, I don't agree.
You're a
with everything.
socialist,
I just-
communist, Marxist.
No, that's all this shit. All this socialist, social safety nets and social security and building codes and everything. Bro, they're trying
You
to control-
socialism! You socialist! How dare you advocate for socialist within our systems?
No.
No, get rid of K
Cut
through
it.
12 free at the point of service. Do you believe in abolishing Social Security?
Yeah.
Do you believe in abolishing Medicare?
Yep.
Do you believe in abolishing Medicaid?
Yeah.
Do you believe in abolishing food stamps?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Do you believe in abolishing all free school lunch and breakfast for children?
Yep.
Do you believe in giving massive tax breaks to millionaires and billionaires?
Yeah.
Do you believe in getting rid of free public roads?
Since they're here, no, but if I can have a choice,
You don't
that
believe
they
in
don't exist, I would
privatizing the
not-
roads? You socialist! Socialist! You don't believe in privatizing the roads?
No.
Do you believe in having the government control water and sewer? Or electricity? Or anything?
No, the government needs to stand back.
Nope. Privatize it all. Privatize it all, everyone. Don't be a socialist. Privatize the entire government. Privatize it all. Get rid of the police. Defund the police. Abolish the police. Abolish the military. Let's get rid of it all. Private the roads. No Medicare, no Medicaid, no Social Security, no government help, no unemployment benefits. You're fucked, buddy. No government for you at all. No school systems. Get rid of that shit. Privatize it all. Privatize the firefighters. Get rid of the public libraries. Get rid of them all. Get them out. Get rid of the subsidies for all the farmers. Get them out. Privatize it all.
No. Yeah, we got to get rid of all of it. That's how we rebuild the country.
Okay, do you think there should be
Trump's
laws?
big beautiful bill is on the way.
I have a question. I have a question.
Good.
Do you think there should be private courts?
No.
No. So okay. So how do you fund public courts systems?
Well, the federal government through tariffs.
So taxes. So redistribution of wealth.
No, not taxes, tariffs.
What is a tariff?
Tax on importing good from an exporting country.
So a tariff is not a tax, but how you define a tariff
It's not a
includes
direct
the word
tax.
tax within
It's
it.
not a direct. It's not a direct tax on the people.
What are you? Yes, it is.
No,
It's
it
a
ain't.
tax
It's
on
an
American
indirect.
companies that are importing the products, and it's passed
Yeah,
on
it's
to the
not. It's
consumer.
not the mass of people. It's
Yeah,
not
wait.
the mass of people.
It's the mass of people importing products from other countries, dude. Oh my god.
No,
You're a
we're-
socialist.
the
You're
consumers
advocating
are
for
mass.
taxation. You're just advocating for sharing the wealth of our society. You're a socialist,
didn't.
bro. Advocating for tariffs. What a socialist.
No, that's how our country was founded. Before the 16th Amendment, it was illegal to income tax us, to direct tax us, was it not?
Well, you understand that tariffs are also a tax.
Yeah, but they're indirect tax.
No, it is directly a tax on American companies importing products. That is a direct
Yeah, on
tax.
companies, but not on the mass of people.
Wait, it's
Well,
passed down to the
parking?
it's passed down to the consumer because it's an aspect of cost of production
Yeah,
and
but it's not
distribution.
a direct tax on the
so then would you
consumer,
be
is it?
would you be okay with income tax on the richest Americans?
No,
Why not?
because prior to the 16th Amendment, it was illegal.
Okay, so you just saying prior to this point it was illegal could be said about so
Yeah.
many different things. There were so many different things that were illegal historically speaking that just because they were illegal historically speaking doesn't mean they should be illegal.
Well, I think the Bill of Rights are decent, and a lot of the other ones can go, like the 16th Amendment.
What is the
There's
Bill
a
of
couple
Rights?
of them I can say. The first 10 amendments of the Constitution.
Okay. Okay, good for you. So if Donald Trump called for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution, would you still support him for president?
As long as he don't affect the Bill of Rights and but honestly, we're in 2025.
Think about it this way. Think about it this way. If he called for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution, that includes the Bill of Rights, correct?
Well, no, I wouldn't vote for him.
So you wouldn't vote for him. So he did say that. He called for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution. Therefore, you do not support Trump anymore,
Pull the
correct?
clip. Pull the clip.
I got you.
Pull the clip.
I'll pull the tweet up.
There's a lot of things I don't support, but he's making the government smaller, which I do. I love it.
You said that you would not support him if he called for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution. And now I'm going to show you a tweet right now of Donald Trump literally saying that, and you're going to tell me you support him. Watch this.
When was this posted? Hold on. When was this posted?
2022.
2022. Well, we all know these rich people. They really don't tweet. It's just like they have a whole team around them.
Yeah. No. Read this off for me, please. Read this one off for me. He didn't do this tweet himself. Read this tweet and tell me he did not type this.
So with the revelation of massive and widespread fraud and deception, and working closely with big tech companies, the DNC and the Democratic Party, do you throw the presidential election results of 2020 out and declare the rightful winner? Or do you have a new election? A massive fraud of this type and magnitude allows for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution. Our great founding fathers did not want, and hold on, I can't see that last, would not want and would not condone false and fraudulent elections. But I think just January 6th is justified, though.
You see how quickly he just changed his. He immediately, after hearing it was from Trump, he's like, you know what? Actually, I defend that. That's called cult-like support right there. Now watch this. You said you defend January 6th. Do you defend the violent rioters who beat police officers on January 6th, who Donald Trump pardoned?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do? So DJ Rodriguez, who drove a stun gun into the neck of a police officer after that police officer was beat over the head with a rod, right? You think that he should be pardoned?
Yeah.
Why?
There are true patriots why? Because the first document of the nation, the Declaration of Independence, clearly states if you think your government is so tyrannical, you need to overthrow it, even if it affects their safetyness and happiness.
So I have a question. If Antifa right now stormed the Capitol and tried to take over the Capitol, would you support them beating police officers?
Yeah.
Do you think that they should get pardoned?
Yeah, I think it's in their right.
Okay, so you think that Donald Trump, they're within their right to beat police officers. So you think Donald Trump should pardon Antifa after they beat police officers, right, to then literally insurrect the Capitol?
Well, an insurrection is a failed revolution. That's what I say.
So you think that they're well within the right to beat police officers if they just claim that it's a revolution?
Well, I mean, they lost, and they called it, the winners get to decide, and they called it the insurrection. But if they won, it would have been a revolution.
No, I'm asking you, if someone just claims that this is a revolution and they just want to beat police officers, do you think that they should be pardoned?
Well, it has to be a group of people at least.
It has to be a group of people. So if a group of people claim revolution and beat police officers, would that specifically deserve a pardoning?
Well, how many people fought in the Revolutionary
Well, hold
War?
on. I'm just
Only
asking. I want you to ask this question. Answer this question. If they claim revolution and they beat police officers, should they be pardoned?
Well, if they're trying to overthrow the government, yeah.
Yeah. So again, if Antifa beat police officers and tried to overtake the Capitol, a group of people that called themselves Antifa, would you say that they should be pardoned?
Well, if they're trying to take over the government that is they feel is false, then yeah. Of course.
Do you think Donald Trump would agree with you?
Yeah, because of the founding fathers.
Okay, here, watch this. Watch this. This is going to change his mind. Do you think the Confederates were justified in beating police officers because they wanted to overthrow our government?
The Confederates when?
During the Civil War. Do you think that they were justified in engaging in violence, right, to try and overthrow our government? The Confederates.
Yeah. They lost though, so
you think
it would have been different if they won.
You think that the Confederates were justified in literally engaging in violence, in literally murdering people and killing people to try and take over the Union?
It's within their right, yeah.
Okay, if the KKK today tried to overtake the government, insurrect the government, and because they think that Donald Trump, right, isn't going far to the right enough, do you think that they would be justified in beating police officers, and do you think that they should be pardoned?
Well, I wouldn't say like just a specific group unless they have a massive population.
Answer the question. Do you think that they should be pardoned?
Not have at least 3%.
Do you think that they should be pardoned?
Yeah, I guess it's within their right to overthrow the.
That's a real person. That is a real person. I don't believe it. I genuinely don't believe it. How the fuck was that a real person? How the fuck was that a real dude? I genuinely don't understand. I don't get it. It feels like I'm straight up talking to people on the GTA 5 radio. What the fuck, dude? What is going on? What are you talking about? What do you mean they should be pardoned? Dude, I genuinely, that could be in GTA 6. That could be the radio in GTA 6. I'm not trolling. That's crazy. YV, thank you so much. I appreciate the galaxy. Thank you. Amy, thank you for the $20 on Cash App. Thank you so much, Amy. Maddie, thank you so much for the $3 on Cash App. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Nancy with the $50. Thank you so much on Venmo. Can we get some W's for Nancy in the comment section right now? Thank you for the $50. Thank you so much. Valerie, thank you for the $5 as well. Thank you so much. Lauren with the $5. Thank you. Kellen with the $5. Thank you. Katie with the $10. Thank you so much, Katie. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Rachel with the $2. Thank you so much. From Hello from War Ravaged Portland. In quotations, it's not. Yeah, it's so crazy. What is the word? I swear we are living in an alternate universe. What the fuck is going on, bro? What is going on? I swear I'm calling into the alternate universe, bro. Oh, jeez, bro. Let's go on to the next person here. Only send a guest request. Again, if you meet that set of criteria listed here on the TikTok screen, we are just looking for some debates, everybody. If you want to support me, as always, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Linktree in the bio, as well as the description of the YouTube, as well as you can support YouTube, people support me over YouTube Super Chat. Let's go over the next person, or go over to the next person next. Only send a guest request. If you meet that set of criteria listed here on the TikTok screen, we are just looking for some debates. All right, let's go to the next person. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Let's go on to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the screen. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria on the screen. Jessica with the $20. Thank you so much on Venmo. Commit some W's for Jessica in the comment section right now. Thank you, Jessica. That is incredibly kind of you. W's for Jessica in the comment section right now. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 22.
Do you support Donald Trump?
I do.
Okay, what's your birth year?
2003.
What month?
February.
Okay, if you could go back in time and you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, who would you vote for?
Trump.
Why so?
Well, I just overall believe in most of the things he says.
Really? So do you believe that windmills are causing whales to die in numbers never seen before?
No.
Do you think the climate's going to start cooling and that science just doesn't know it yet?
That stuff doesn't really concern me. I know he speaks a lot of nonsense, but at the end of the day, I still support the important stuff.
Do you think that if Jesus were the vote counter in California, that Trump would have won the vote?
What type of question is that?
That's something Trump said himself. He said that if Jesus were the vote counter in California, that he would have won the vote.
All right, well, it's not that I believe in the things he says. I believe in the things he stands for.
Like what?
Like local government. And I do actually want to go back to something. I don't know if you saw this with J.D. Vance tweet a few days ago, but January 6th insurrection was actually started by deep state liberals from the FBI.
Yeah, well, I don't believe that. I don't believe it was deep state liberals that caused
You
January
understand
6th.
that there were FBI undercover informants there, and the one who started the insurrection on video was an undercover agent.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see, but that still doesn't justify pardoning January 6 violent rioters who beat police officers, even if it was.
Well, I'm
the
not
case.
saying it does.
Wait, so then are you saying that Donald Trump was pardoning deep state libs that caused January 6th?
No, he wasn't.
Because he pardoned all of them. He pardoned everyone. So he pardoned the deep state libs that caused January 6th.
I'm just telling you they started it. Obviously, there was Trump people too who did bad.
Wait, no. So you're saying all of the people he pardoned were all Trump people. None of them were deep state libs.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you know which ones were deep state libs and which ones weren't? Because if hundreds of them in the crowd were deep state libs, but Donald Trump didn't pardon any of them, it seems like maybe they made an issue there.
There's a video out there on Twitter.
Well, how do you know they're a deep state lib?
Does it make sense?
Because you just feel like it?
Yeah.
Trust me, they're liberals. I know we pardoned them, but they're liberals. I swear, they're not Trump supporters.
He
They're
looks
liberals.
like a Fed. You could tell who's a Fed just by looking at them.
Okay, how so?
Just
Like, what indicating
most
factors?
normal people. They're attractive people. They're normal people.
Okay, well, I have a question. Am I a Fed?
No.
Well, actually, buddy, you're wrong, bud. I'm a Fed paid
You
by
look
the
more
DNC
like
to
an
come up here
incel.
right now.
You look more
So
like an
actually, you're
incel.
wrong, buddy. If they were Feds, I'd be able to tell because I'm a Fed myself, brother. I'm just kidding. So now, come on. How do you tell that they're a Fed or not? Obviously, you can't make that determination. There are plenty of people in the comment section that genuinely believe that I'm a Fed. I'm not trolling. I get people in my live that tell me that they think that I'm a federal agent paid by the DNC to come on the lives and spread propaganda and misinformation. They genuinely believe that. I'm not trolling.
Well, I can't know for sure. It's just my opinion.
Okay, it's just your opinion? Well, the people in the comment section say the same thing when they say that I'm a deep state operative from the DNC.
Yeah, he could be. I mean, how do we know you're not?
You want to know something funny? It's the most hilarious claim to me because I've lived my whole life. I grew up in Iowa, bro, in a conservative Christian household. I'm some random fucking dude. I lived near cornfields. I lived literally within 5 minutes from cornfields, okay? I'm some random kid that randomly blew up on the internet. Oh, he just got banned for community guidelines. I'm some random kid that blew up on the internet, and he thinks it's possible I'm a deep state operative paid by the DNC to come up on the live and to convince people. Are you kidding me, bro? That is so diabolical from my perspective. Like just imagine, like think about people in my family that hear those arguments. Like think about their reaction for a second. Like just imagine being a part of someone's family and you know that your sibling, you grew up your entire life with them, and there's people on the internet saying they're deep state DNC operatives. You know what I mean? Or saying that's possible. That's hilarious to me. That's hilarious. I'm like, dude, it was the funniest thing ever. Dale, thank you for the $5 for the DNC. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the deep state operative money. Thank you so much. I wouldn't be able to continue on without it. Thank you so much. Carolina, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you for this is your handler. You're breaking your cover. Change topics now. Sincerely, the feds. I got you. I'm sorry. I can't break cover. I cannot break cover. My secret is safe with everyone in the live. Thank you for keeping my secret safe. Jade, thank you for the $10. Happy birthday, Jade. Thank you so much. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that I've been able to teach you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate that. W's for Jade in the comment section. Happy birthday, Jade. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm Michael. I'm 27.
What's your birth year?
August 27th, 1997.
Okay. And you said you're how old again, sorry?
27.
1997. You were born what month? Sorry?
August 27th.
Wouldn't you be 28?
Yeah.
You just said 27.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hey, what's up? I'm
How old are you?
19.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah.
What's your birth year?
2006.
What month?
January.
Okay. 2006, January. Okay, so if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you vote for?
Neither.
Oh, okay. Bye-bye. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 20.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes.
What's your birth year?
2000. I mean, 2005.
Most obvious fetus. I'm sorry. Most obvious fetus ever. Dude. Oh my gosh. Let's go to the next person. Only set a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
20.
What's your birthday? Oh, there's already so much background noise. Today is Minor joining the live Monday. The minors all troll the lives and they just join no matter what. I know it says on the screen, don't join if you're a minor, but they do anyway. Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
26.
What's your birth year?
99.
Okay. If you could go back in time and you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, who would you vote for?
Kamala Harris.
Okay. All right, let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Linda, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Thank you so much for the DNC operative support. Thank you. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Wait, can you hear me?
Yes. How old are you?
I'm 21.
What's your birth year?
2003.
What month?
November.
Are you driving?
No, I'm riding in a car though.
Okay, is someone else driving?
Yes, sir.
Can they say hi?
Hello.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you vote for?
Donald Trump.
Why?
He's the GOAT.
Why?
Why?
Does a lot for us.
My driver said he does a lot for us.
It makes the economy better.
How so?
I'm actually not. Yes.
You said you're not what?
Wait, what? I just think he makes the economy better.
You said you're not what?
Not liberal.
A liberal.
Just go to the next person. I feel like they were trolling. Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 19.
I can barely hear you. Is there a way you can get closer to your microphone?
Yeah, I'm 19 years old.
So the next person, only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Alrighty, let's go on to the next person. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
18.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Of course.
Okay, if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you vote for? I can't hear you when you swipe out of the app. Okay, they left themselves. Silent, thank you for the $20. Thank you so much. Absolutely, I will. I'd actually need to go run downstairs and grab it because I'm out on the one I have right with me. So I have to run downstairs and grab another one and reload. But it would take a second to do that, so I might do that here in a little bit. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
28.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah.
What's your birth year?
August 27th, 1997.
For sure. Wait, were you just on my stream?
Yeah.
And you got it wrong? Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 18 years old.
What's your birth year?
2007.
What month?
February.
Okay, if you could go back in time and you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, who would you vote for?
I would say probably Donald Trump, but I don't know.
Why so?
Tell me, as a young American, who can do better for me in the future?
Same guys. Yeah, there's multiple people saying same guys. We're going to go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 20.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes and no.
If you could go back in time and you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, who would you vote for?
Go back in time. So I'm actually Canadian, but I follow the American politics.
Go get your own fascist, bro. He literally wants to annex your own country, bro. He literally wants to annex the country you're residing in illegally. And he joked about it. Like, I'm serious. Like, Elizabeth, thank you for the $5. I actually don't know what that is. Yo, what's up? How old are you? So the next person, only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Oh, I forgot to put it up. Yo, what's up? How old are you? How old are you? Okay. Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request again if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
For sure, but I mean,
Yo, what's up? How old are you?
well, now we're talking about the
I am 20.
Can you turn off the Charlie Kirk video?
Why?
Right, because why?
Because we're gonna talk.
Charlie Kirk was way too good to debate you.
Well, I already debated him and beat him in a debate. So if you want to talk
You
about
did
that, you
not
can
beat
watch
him.
that on
Bye,
Jubilee.
loser.
Oh, you're mad. Run away. Elizabeth, no, I'm not. It's not my area code. Let's go on the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. They were spamming in the comment section. You're so annoying. Then they come up on the stream with Charlie Kirk playing in the background, and then immediately when I say I beat him in the debate, that they just leave, dude. That's so funny, dude. That's so funny. All right, let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
21.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Kinda.
What's your birth year?
04.
What month?
March.
Okay. If you could go back in time and you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, who would you vote for?
Trump.
Okay, why so?
Lesser of two evils, I think.
Okay. Why is he the lesser of two evils?
I just don't know. I feel like Kamala
Kamala?
and I don't know. I just think that she was taking advantage of Joe Biden.
How so?
I don't know. I just think a lot of her thoughts were his thoughts, and it was just a bad situation. I think they took advantage of Joe Biden from the start, and that's why he was in office.
So then why did Kamala Harris say the complete opposite in her book that she just released?
What was that?
Then why did Kamala Harris say the complete opposite in the book that she just released?
I mean, she's gonna say, what makes her look good, I think.
Or she's going to say what's true.
I think there's better Democratic, nominees. Like, I think there could be better people to run for president than Kamala
And you don't think
Harris,
that there could be better people who are Republican nominees
no,
to run?
no.
Way better people, right? So
I 100%
Of course,
think-
I could say that I could agree with someone else to a greater extent than Kamala Harris, but that doesn't mean that Kamala Harris isn't a better candidate than Donald Trump. She's a significantly better candidate than Donald Trump. Way more qualified, has significantly better character, is a better person, right? Literally has a significantly better policy.
And I don't hate her. I don't hate anyone. Obviously, I agree with both of them on certain views. I'm not going to sit here and be a crazy Trumpy and defend Trump, stuff like that. But I just think comfortability wise, in my lifetime, I've seen Trump in office before. So I just think, going for the safe choice. You know what I'm trying to say. I'm a young American. I have a lot of Democratic views as well as Republican, but I'm just kind of on the fence with both.
How
Like
is
I
Donald
said,
Trump the safe choice?
I can't answer that honestly.
Okay, then why do you
Just
think
because
it
he was
is?
already in office before, and that's the only thing I can think of.
Okay, so who would you rather put in office? Specifically Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump if you were to go back to 2016?
Probably Trump, honestly.
She had already been in office. He has never been in office at that point. So clearly
She was never the president, though.
So he wasn't either at that point.
It's just Hillary and Trump. That's a clear choice.
Yeah, so it's not based upon any of like the actual experience they had. It's just based upon what you agreeing with their ideological views. So then what specific ideological views do you support Donald Trump's of that you don't support Kamala Harris's position on?
That's a good question. Like I said, I can't really think of anything specific. I'm leaning more on the fence to more Democratic views. I know it said Trump supporters only, and I wouldn't say that I'm a Trump supporter. I would say that I was, and I'm on the fence. Just
So you
now
wouldn't
after
vote for
seeing
Donald
him
Trump
in
if you could go
office.
back?
I guess not, honestly.
Okay. All right. Based. Keep changing your mind. Keep watching these live streams. That would be great. Let's go into the next person here real quick. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the screen. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Alrighty. If you want to support me as always, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Linktree in the bio, as well as the description of the YouTube, as well as you can support me over YouTube Super Chat. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 18.
Do you support Donald Trump?
I do.
What's your birth year?
2007.
What month?
June.
Okay, if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you vote for?
Trump.
Okay, why so?
Well, my main standpoint is immigration policy. A lot of people dislike Trump because of his immigration policy and more so how he's going about it. That is a part that I don't fully agree with on how he's going about it. There's always a better way to go about it than just straight up force and violence. But at the same time, Obama deported almost 6 million illegal immigrants. Clinton deported almost, I think, 7 million. And then can't remember the other president, deported almost 11 million illegal immigrants. Trump's only deported about 3 million at this point, but he's doing it more effectively than half the other presidents did in their entire terms, yet he's getting most of the hate for it, which I don't fully understand. It is statistically proven that most crime statistics, from kidnappings to robberies, come from illegal immigrants or people of color. Not saying that anything of that kind, but more so it's statistically proven. It just is. It's also proven that most jobs that have been taken from illegal immigrants, or most jobs have been taken by illegal immigrants, and with deportation, it has...
Repeat your question. What were you saying was statistically true?
It is statistically true that most illegal immigrants take up jobs. They are leading in kidnappings, especially within the state of Texas.
No. If you wanna look up taking up jobs, that's a ridiculous assertion, especially because when a person comes to our country, they add demand and supply. They don't just take up jobs; they also provide demand to create new jobs in the very first place. And then in terms of crime rates, undocumented immigrants are multiple times as likely to commit violent crime, drug crime, property crime in the United States comparative to natural-born U.S. citizens. I have a sources link in the context of my sources document in the context of my link tree. Click on my link tree. You can go to the immigration aspect of it. It has an entire page of different studies that demonstrate that undocumented immigrants and documented immigrants commit lower rates of violent crime, drug crime, and property crime comparative to natural-born U.S. citizens. So you're just completely and totally wrong, statistically speaking.
Statistically, I'm not. If you look at FBI statistics and CIA statistics, it both says it there.
Where?
On the FBI statistics page.
No, it doesn't. Please tell me. Tell me where I can find it on the FBI statistics website.
I just told you.
Okay, you didn't. Tell me like a title. He left. Wow, dude. He knew he was bullshitting that. What a fucking waste of time, bruh. It's literally the opposite. Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you? How old are you? Okay, let's go to the next person, everybody. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates, everybody.
Hello.
What's up? How old are you?
18.
What's your birth year?
2007.
What state do you live in?
No, I'm English, but I cannot believe I'm literally speaking.
I'm sorry. I am just looking for some debates. I do appreciate you very much, though. I do appreciate you very much. And I'm just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you? How old are you? Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Alrighty, let's try the next person. Only send a guest request again if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. All right, if you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up for the 3,000 people here. Hit that thumbs up. Let's try to get to 3,000 likes. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
18.
What's your birth year?
2007.
What month?
May.
Okay, if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you vote for?
Trump.
Okay, why so?
I just really agree with what he does stand for. And one of the things that I did want to come on here and talk about was, do you support having the right to own a gun?
To some degree, yeah. Like, not all guns, but some guns.
Okay, so like one of the biggest problems that I have with facing, like the left side is that they want to just ban guns completely because of their biggest argument is school shootings. Would you agree to that stand?
To be honest, I don't really care if we were to ban all guns. Like I don't have like a huge like I need guns or something like that. We're not advocating to ban all guns. I'm simply not either. But like I wouldn't really mind, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Like so, I mean, when it comes to guns, my duty and my goal that I care about is to ensure that people are living, and people don't die to a greater extent. And obviously, certain types of guns that are going to increase the likelihood of people dying is definitely going to be, something that I want to reduce from happening. Now, I do agree with a right to self-defense, and I think that a gun to a certain extent would be a mechanism for self-defense. So I understand that. But I think lots of guns are unnecessary to maintain self-defense.
So there are some people that take it to the extent where they just own guns to have guns and just have an insane amount of collection. Sometimes that might not be necessary because that could lead to further destruction of human lives. Because your own child can break into your own gun area and use that to take it and shoot up some place. But I believe
that's why you want there to be safety restrictions in terms of locked boxes, like hard ways for other people who do not have the biometric scanners to be able to get in. Like there's specific things you can do in order to reduce children's like access to that, especially because they could accidentally get access to it and harm themselves, which we don't want to happen, which does happen to some degree, which again we don't want to occur.
Yeah, so that's like one of the. I just wanted to see where you stand on that point, on where if you just want to ban guns completely, or if you're agreeing with self-defense purposes only. So now that I know, why do you not support Trump? Like, what's your biggest debate on? Like, what's your number one thing that makes you not want to support Trump?
One thing or a bunch of things?
So just your biggest thing, your number one thing right now.
Well, he was held civilly liable for sexual abuse.
Okay. Is there a can I have proof?
Yeah, look up Trump liable essay.
Okay.
AP News. And I won't be able to hear you while you're out of the app, but I know you're looking it up. Don't worry. Allison, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you so much. I'm really glad that I can help out. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Allison. I really appreciate it. Absolutely. Just know we're always here. Absolutely. Kendall, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. That's great. That's great, Kendall. We love that. That's amazing. Sophia, thank you for the $10 as well. Thank you. Right? What's up?
You said AP News?
Yeah, look up Trump liable essay AP News. Yeah. Courtney, you might be, as of right now. I still need to add new people. I keep forgetting to do that. I'll do that here pretty soon. So yeah, if you're in the YouTube chat a bunch, I might make you mod. Coming soon. Oh, Matt, Adam's also here too. So there's 2 mods currently in the chat. Great. But yeah, I just meant for other people because also for when everyone's not there, I definitely need mods, especially in the YouTube chat. I think that's. Oop! I just turned over my keyboard. I was like, oh, don't accidentally turn off my recording.
Okay, so I actually did not know about that.
Okay.
But so I would have to do more research into that, so your claim is that you do not support him because he has been held liable for an assault against I don't remember.
Yeah, for forcefully penetrating E. Jean Carroll's vagina against her will. Yeah, and I think that's so atrocious that you shouldn't support him. That's just one thing. You just told me to bring up one specific thing.
Yeah. Okay.
I can bring up plenty of others. I have a whole list of things I can go down.
Yeah, if you could just bring up another one, I'll have to just look into that one a little more.
Yeah, he incited a violent insurrection at the Capitol, and he pardoned violent rioters who beat police officers on January 6th. And he called them patriots.
Okay. Would you rather, who would you rather have president, if you don't mind me asking?
Kamala Harris.
Okay.
Like if it was the last election. Now for this next election cycle, I want a more progressive candidate in the context of the Democratic primaries. I'd prefer someone like AOC.
Yeah.
I think James Tallarico was pretty interesting and cool. I don't know all of his positions on every matter, but he seems very interesting for someone like to run for office. But I would definitely support Kamala Harris, say for example, like someone like JD Vance for sure, or like practically any Democrat like Newsom or any of them.
Okay, so
over JD Vance.
Do you support the idea of Trump's, I guess, not fire, but heart to help get rid of illegal immigrants?
So repeat that, sorry?
Sorry, it's because I'm at work right now, but do you support the immigration right now?
I disagree with Trump's current immigration policy. Anyone who's in the country who's undocumented, who has not committed a violent crime or bad crime, I believe should be given a pathway to citizenship. I think the legal process needs to go significantly quicker as well.
Yes. So I agree with that. They could be doing this a lot more flawlessly and do it in a less violent way that they have done. But I do stand on the point where they could have gone the route of just waiting for citizenship instead of trying to get here illegally and causing their family more harm and putting them in danger of getting sent back and getting deported.
So you disagree with Trump's immigration policy, correct?
I just disagree in the way that they're going about it.
Okay, so then
they could be doing it a lot more.
That means you disagree with the policy. So then I guess here would be my point, is that what do you agree with Trump on, insofar as that he then is redeemable based upon all the characteristics I just mentioned?
I do agree with his stance on pro-life. I personally am pro-life.
Okay, so do you think that abortion should be illegal?
Yes, I really do.
Okay, why?
It's not something that should be normalized in today's day and age.
Why?
Nowadays, women I don't mean to sound too graphic here, but women will go around sleeping around with anybody who they want, and they're not ready to face those consequences. And in my opinion,
why is it only women that specifically have accountability? Why didn't you bring up the men that are sleeping around with a bunch of people specifically, and them not going through mechanisms to specifically not get pregnant? Also, I just want to let you know, most abortions come from failed contraceptives. So people are using contraception, and it still is the case that they get pregnant. Plus, a lot of abortions come from people who have already had children, so they're in the context of relationships. So the idea is that, like, it's not mostly coming from people just sleeping around and deciding to have an abortion just for fun, because especially abortions are extremely expensive. The average American cannot afford that. Like, doing so many abortions like that, that's just not something that they could do.
In my opinion,
now, if we want to talk about like abortion in general, like for example, my girlfriend gets pregnant, right, from us being together, right? Do you think that if I were to pay for her abortion, I should go to prison?
Yes.
Yeah, I should go to prison?
Not prison, but you should be held accountable for murder.
Yeah, meaning I should go to prison, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you think I should go to prison, a forced prison camp, because it is the case that I paid for my girlfriend's abortion?
Yes, because you're helping her get a murderer.
Okay, so not only should I go to prison, my girlfriend should go to prison, and the person who is the doctor?
Yes.
So all three of us should go to prison for one abortion?
Yes.
Okay, I have a question. There's a petri dish. We cause a zygote to exist in the petri dish, a fertilized egg at conception. I slab the shit out of it for TikTok and YouTube content, and I kill that shit. Okay, should I go to prison?
Can you elaborate further?
Yeah, human cellular life at conception, a single cell organism, human life.
Okay.
Kill that shit for fun, for TikTok and YouTube content. Right? It was interesting content, interesting rage bait. And should I go to prison for doing that?
I don't mind. I don't mean like this doesn't. But what does that have to do with this?
I promise I'll tell you the relevance.
Babies. Okay.
Yeah, I slapped the shit out of that zygote, and I fucking murder that shit under your view. Should I go to prison?
Yes.
Yeah? For slapping a zygote? It's a single cell
you
organism,
just
bro.
said, hold on. You just said it's a human cell.
Yeah.
So why are you gonna be getting rid of that human cell?
For fun.
So you like to kill human cells for fun?
Absolutely. Human single cell organisms. Zygotes. I'm a zygote killer.
So then why shouldn't you be held accountable for that?
Because it's a fucking single cell organism. It's not a person.
Okay, I feel like we're getting off track here. Okay, so you brought up the fact that why aren't men being held accountable, and you didn't let me finish.
No, wait, before we go into that, I just want to address this specific point. So again, I'm a zygote killer.
Well,
right?
you kind of ran off when I was still talking, but go ahead.
Okay. I'm a zygote killer. Right?
Okay.
Should I go to prison for being a zygote killer?
Yeah. I would think so, yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Women who use IUDs, should they go to prison?
I would say so, yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you know what an IUD is?
It's a thing to help prevent pregnancies.
Okay. Do you think women who use birth control should go to prison?
I personally think birth control shouldn't exist. Can I explain? Or are you just gonna interrupt me?
Go ahead. Explain.
Okay. Women should be held accountable for their actions. That's my thing. It's if you personally think you're mature enough and well off to be able to go and around and sleep with a bunch of men, and I'm not saying the men shouldn't be held accountable nowadays.
It's oftentimes not. I don't know why you're saying a bunch of men, and I don't know why you're specifically targeting women here.
Can I finish my sentence before you interrupt me?
If you say something coherent, yeah.
Okay. So men should also be held accountable because nowadays it's all about who has the most body count. Like it's not something that should be brought up in normalization that men can sleep around. I'm not saying the men aren't.
Dude, this has nothing to do with you actually caring about the zygotes or actually caring about the fucking embryos. It has everything to do with you just wanting people not to have sex.
Okay, so can I finish what I said?
Go for it, man.
Okay. I personally think that abortion is not something that should be real. Like, it's not a good thing.
It's not something that should be real? Sorry.
It's not something that should be normalized. In today's age, it's been normalized to, oh, you can sleep around, and if you get pregnant, go kill it. Just go ahead. It's okay. It's fine.
Yeah, it's not sentient. Who gives a shit?
Really? So you wouldn't care if you were aborted?
What do you mean if, dude, that's like saying would you care if your parents didn't have sex on the very night to create you? Would you care? Well, you wouldn't exist to care, dude. You would have never had an experience ever. You would have never existed.
If your
so
mom
how the hell would you care?
Well, if your mom would have come and tell you that I was going to abort you, but I decided not to, you wouldn't be mad.
No.
You'd be like, oh, it's okay. It's your choice.
Yes, that's exactly what I would actually say.
You would. Really?
Yes. That is my mom's choice.
Okay, so what about your dad? What if your dad was against it? Would you say that your mom has
it's my
the right
mom's
to
choice.
go?
It's my mom's choice.
Why?
It's
Why?
her body.
Okay, but it's the dad's cells that went into her egg.
Oh, now you want to bring
his
up
sperm.
how men are involved. Interesting. I don't give a shit. It's my mom's choice.
So now the men don't matter.
Quite frankly, their choice is not relevant here. Their determination is not relevant. Are you saying if a man doesn't want an abortion, that they can force them to go through the context of a pregnancy? That's absurd.
He should be pretty up there in the decision making.
Wow. Okay. So if they disagree, if she wants an abortion and he doesn't, right, what should happen?
They shouldn't have it.
Oh, so they should be forced to go through the pregnancy.
Yes.
That's fucking crazy. How about this?
Why?
I'll give you a fucking example.
Explain why it's crazy.
Let me
Explain
give
why
you an
it's crazy.
example. Let me give you an example.
Okay,
Two
go
people
ahead.
are in
Go
a
ahead.
relationship. The guy SAs the woman that he's in a relationship with. She becomes pregnant based upon that. Should she be forced to go through the pregnancy because he wants her to?
I personally think that she should have the baby, but leave him.
You said what?
She should have the baby, but leave him.
No, should she legally be able to get access to an abortion? She wants an abortion. Should she be able to get access to it?
No.
Yeah, that's fucking gross. You think rape victims shouldn't be able to get access to an abortion? You think that rapists should be able to determine who has their kid?
What?
Yeah, that's exactly what you're saying. You're saying that they should be forced to go through the context of a pregnancy with their rapist baby. That's what you're saying. That's disgusting, dude.
And rape leads back to the society that we live in now.
Yeah, because
That
you voted for
shouldn't-
Donald
it's
Trump.
been- how does that relate?
He's a rapist.
Is
He's
there
held civilly liable of
legal
sexual abuse.
proof?
No
Is
wonder
there legal proof?
why you're doing all the bidding for rapists when you support the rapist.
Hold on. How many false accusations are there about rape today? How many
in terms of
people's life
the
were
court
ruined?
in terms of the court system, it's around 2 to 10% just based on accusations.
2
If
to
they were held
10%.
liable, it is extremely unlikely that it's false. Now, if you want to talk about who's
Really?
lying, let's talk about that. Donald Trump was proven to have lied in the case. E. Jean Carroll never lied. You can give one example where she
Really?
lied. Donald Trump did lie. Donald Trump said they never met. There was pictures of them together. Donald Trump said that he wouldn't have sexually abused her because she's quote unquote not his type. But then in a deposition mistook her with his ex-wife, indicating that they're either both his type or both not his type. So he would have sexually abused her either way. Donald Trump is a pathological liar, and you believe the pathological liar.
He's a liar. Out of
Yes,
all,
he has
you
30,000
support
confirmed
Kamala
lies in his
Harris.
first administration
You-
or
hold
misleading
on. So
statements.
you-
He has literally, right, cheated on every single one of his wives. He to this day says that he didn't cheat on his wife, and it is the case that literally Stormy Daniels, under oath, talked about how it looked like a mushroom. Okay? Don't tell me that he's not a fucking pathological liar when he's been proven over and over again to be a pathological liar. I can give you so many other examples.
Okay, so you're mad at? Do you like MLK? Do you think he was a good man?
Are you pivoting? Are you really pivoting? You're not going to address anything
Answer
with Donald
the
Trump,
question.
and
No,
you're going to
answer-
try and
no, hold on,
paint
I'll
out
be back.
MLK to be a bad
I'll
person.
be back.
Can you address
No, I'll be
anything I
back.
just said? Address anything I just said.
Can you answer the question? Just answer the question.
No, because it's a pivot.
Why not?
Because it's
I'll
a pivot.
lead back. I'll tell you why I'm saying this.
Can you address what Donald Trump has done?
No, just answer the question, and I'll lead you back
No.
to where I'm getting at. Why not?
No, because I don't think it's relevant.
It is, but you're just not letting me explain.
It's
So
literally
just answer
not.
the question.
It's not relevant.
Answer the question.
No,
MLK,
you're pivoting. How about you
FBI
address? How about you
statistics-
address what I said before we move on? Can we do that?
Hold on.
Can you
Hold on.
address what I said first? I think that's disingenuous
Hold
for
on.
you not to address what I had to say. We can talk about whatever you'd like to talk about after you finish
Give me a
talking about
chance.
what I'm saying.
Hold on.
But right now, you're choosing
I'm
not to do
gonna
that.
get
You're
back to
choosing to
it.
pivot away from it.
I'm not pivoting. I'm using an example. It's called an example. Look it up.
But you're instead of
MLK,
actually responding to
the
anything I'm
FBI
saying.
statistics have found out that MLK has cheated on his wife about 40 times, and when he was shot, he was leaving his mistress's house. So does that make MLK a bad man?
I think that cheating is
So then
bad,
if you're-
and I think that's a really
if
bad
you're
thing to
using-
do. But that's not relevant. Him being bad in terms of doing cheating does not mean, right, that like Donald Trump cheating isn't bad, and it doesn't mean that Donald Trump's not a pathological liar. What? And also, that's not comparable to sexual abuse. That you're, dude, address. This is why I said that's irrelevant. This is why I said there is no relevance to you bringing that up, literally at all. Literally. Is he running for president? Did he run for president? Are we supporting him for the candidate for president? Are we comparing whether or not it is the case that they lied or said something true in a particular scenario? No, none of that is relevant at all.
You brought up.
Wait, let me address what I said. Donald Trump was proven to have lied in the exact scenario what we're talking about in terms of E. Jean Carroll and Donald Trump. He said they never met. There was pictures of them together. He said that he wouldn't have sexually abused her because she's quote unquote not his type, but then in a deposition mistook her with his ex-wife. And I was indicating that not only that, but he's a pathological liar in general. So why would you
So I'm
believe
guessing
him
you believe that he
about
went
the
on-
set of
he's on
circumstances that
Epstein's list.
occurred?
So then you believe that he's on Epstein's list.
Well, that was already indicated by people in his administration. We just don't know in what manner he's on the list, like or in the
So-
files. I mean,
then why did the victims of Epstein say that he wasn't even there?
Wait, so again, you're saying that some victims said that they didn't see him in some context. That doesn't mean he wasn't there in any context.
The victims of Epstein's list
Wait,
say
that's
he
not.
was
Wait,
not there.
one, that's not every single victim. Two, right? They never said that he wasn't there at all. They said they just didn't see him. So they're not. We're not making an indication.
So if you
that
can't
they're-
see your brain, you don't
we're
have
not,
a brain?
We're not making an indication that they're lying at all. Actually, people going on the internet saying that we're claiming that they're lying are completely wrong. And if you want to say that you believe in victims, because again, you should, I do, you should. It is the case that you should believe E. Jean Carroll. Why don't you believe E. Jean Carroll?
I never said I didn't. I
do you
told you
think that- do you
specifically
think
that
that E. Jean
never-
Carroll is
I never
lying?
knew it. I have to look more into it. I told you
What
that I
more do you
never
need
knew
to
that
look
happened.
into? There was a unanimous decision of 9 people in a jury that indicated Trump sexually abused E. Jean Carroll. And there's 26 different women that have accused Donald Trump of sexual misconduct.
Okay, I'm telling you that I never looked into that, so I need to look into it further.
Okay, well, you're never going to look into it, I bet.
Okay, so you just know what I'm going to do and not do.
Probably, yeah.
Really? Okay.
Based upon how this conversation has gone, I don't think that you're going to look it up. I actually genuinely don't.
I will.
Go ahead then. Prove me wrong. Look it up. And when you see it to be true, will you still support him?
Yes, because that one.
You see what I mean? You see what I mean? Cult member right here. No matter what, even if you know,
I'm in a cult, really?
yes, you are. Even if you know that he sexually abused a
what's a
woman,
cult?
you'd still
What's a
support
cult?
him. I'm saying you'll support him
What's
no
the
matter what,
definition of a cult?
essentially.
What's the definition of a cult?
That's the way I'm using it, is you're going to support him no matter what.
Okay, so what's the definition of a cult?
That's the way I'm using it, is you support someone no matter what.
That's not a definition.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. You're a cult member. You support him no matter what.
So I'm
Can you tell me one thing Donald Trump could name one thing Donald Trump could do that would get you to stop supporting him?
I don't know. Bomb the whole United States.
Okay. So not sexual abuse of a woman, not inciting a violent insurrection at the Capitol, not saying you date a 10-year-old girl in 10 years, not bragging about walking into the changing rooms of naked women while they're changing naked, literally without their consent. When there was an 18-year-old that came out and said there were 4 girls as young as 15 years old in these changing rooms when Donald Trump would barge in. Not Donald Trump calling his daughter voluptuous, which means curvy and sexually attractive. Not Donald Trump saying he has sex in common with his daughter when she said real estate and golf. Not Donald Trump saying he would date his own daughter if it wasn't his daughter. Not any of those things.
Never heard of those things.
I'll play the audios if you'd like to hear him say it. Would you like to hear him say it? Oh, wait, you'll still support him even though he did those things, right? You'll still support him even though he said that Diddy was a good guy, and he said that Epstein was a terrific guy and he likes beautiful women as much as he does many of them on the younger side. He said that John McCain was not a war hero for being captured.
Uh-huh. Oh, you're finished.
No, I can keep going. You want to hear this?
Thank you, everyone. Donald Trump business introduced her father. Praise.
That if Ivanka
Fatherly praise is downright cringeworthy, like on The View in 2006.
said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
Oh, it's so weird. And then again in 2006.
By the way, your daughter, she's beautiful. Can I say this? A piece of ass. Yeah. She looks more voluptuous than ever.
She's actually always been very voluptuous. She's tall. She's almost 6 feet tall.
He said yeah to Howard Stern calling his daughter a piece of ass, and then called his daughter voluptuous, which means curvy and sexually attractive. That's what it means. Now here's him bragging about walking to the changing rooms of naked women.
So you have done that. Now,
I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting.
Right,
I want to make sure that
You're like
everything is
doctor.
good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women, and so I sort of get away with things like that.
What are your responses to these things? Do you still support him?
Yes.
Surprise!
I would rather,
he still supports him.
I would rather support him than any other president that you would ever go for. I would rather support him than Trump. Not Trump, sorry. Biden, Kamala. I would rather support.
How about this?
Trump
Watch this.
than them.
Name something Donald Trump could say that would get you to stop supporting him.
No. don't think about that stuff.
Name one thing that Donald Trump could say that would get you to stop supporting him.
Can't think of any right now with your face in the camera. Sorry.
Because you're a fucking cult member. You're literally a cult member.
I'm a cult member.
Yes, you can't name a single thing that Donald Trump could say that would get you to stop supporting him. How about this? How about this? If Donald Trump called for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution, would you still support him?
What's a cult?
You're supporting him no matter what.
What?
There's nothing you could
not a
mention
definition.
that would get you to stop supporting him. That's the definition I'm using.
But that's not the real definition.
Okay,
Your
what's the real?
definition
Then tell me
doesn't mean it's the real
what's the
definition.
real definition? Tell me.
A leader of something that takes you away from regular daily tasks that you have with your family and your friends, and takes you away to their place of business and have you follow specific rules.
That's a
How does
horrible.
any
That's a
of
horrible. That's a horrible definition
Okay,
of a
then what's
cult,
a-
by the way.
then
That's
what's
a
a
terrible
cult? Then what's a
definition.
cult? Then
I
what's a
just told
cult?
you, and the way I'm using it is that you're going to support
The way you're
leader
using it doesn't mean
no
that's
matter
the real
what.
definition.
Wait, that's the way that I'm defining the term and the way we're using it in most contexts here. When I
so
say
that's
that
not
you're
the
a
real
cult
definition.
member, it is the case that you are following Trump no matter what. There's nothing Trump could say
That's
that would
not
get
the
you to
real
stop
definition.
supporting him. You
Tell
are
me
a
the real
cultist.
definition.
Wait, when you say real,
Tell me the real
I'm telling
definition.
you, it's the way I'm using the term.
That you using a term in your own way doesn't mean that's the definition.
Language is subjective. It's based upon the usage of the particular individual.
Oh,
This is how most people are using it in this connotation. It makes total
So
sense.
then what if Trump didn't mean voluptuous in the way you think he does?
It
What if
means-
he used it in his own term?
Yeah, that is not the context. You can tell because he talks about
No,
specifically those contexts.
using
We
your
just played the
logic.
audio.
Using your logic. What if he didn't mean voluptuous in that way? What if
Then
he
tell me,
meant it in
what
his
is
own
the way that he meant the term voluptuous?
I'll say it when you tell me the definition of a cult.
I just told you.
No, you told me your own definition. You didn't tell me the real definition.
Yeah, I'm asking you what is.
Why can't you tell me the real definition? Tell me the real definition.
I don't know what you mean by the real definition. The real definition is the one
You
I'm
know
using.
what I mean.
No, the real
No,
definition.
the one
is
you're
I'm-
using doesn't mean that
Hey,
it's a
listen,
real definition.
Listen, I have to explain language to you because you don't know how language works. Okay, language.
You don't.
No, I do. I completely understand it.
Okay, then
Let me
tell me
explain it to
the
you.
definition of cult.
I already told you. Okay, I
No, you
told
told
you
me
the
your own
definition that I'm using.
The
You're
one
acting like
you're
a
using
child
doesn't
right
mean
now
that's
instead
real.
of letting me explain.
Explain the real definition of a cult.
I know you're triggered and you're mad, but I will do so. Now, please be
not
quiet.
mad.
You're so mad.
Go ahead.
You're terribly angry. Now we'll talk about this. So when he's using the term voluptuous, he clarifies after that he thinks that she's tall and what's it called? Nearly 6 feet tall, and they also were talking about how she's a quote unquote piece of ass. So that was the conversation. So when he calls
He
her
never
a
even
piece
said
of
that in
ass,
his own words.
he said
He
yeah
didn't
to
say that in his own words.
he said yeah to Howard Stern calling his daughter a piece of ass.
What tone did he use?
What do you mean? What tone did he? What do you mean? What tone did he use? How does that
Oh
even
my gosh,
matter?
hold on,
Do you want me to play the audio again? How does that even matter? What do you mean? What tone did he use?
The tone of someone saying something matters so much.
How?
I don't know
In
if
what
you know this, but yeah.
Wait, what tone would change the context of what he said there?
He could be like, "Oh yeah," or in his term, he was like, "Yeah." You could even play back the clip and
Yeah
you'll
to
hear
what?
him
What is
use
he
that
saying
tone.
yeah to? What is he saying yeah to?
He just said yeah.
To what?
What you just said.
No, what did Howard Stern say that he said yeah to?
Calling his own daughter a piece of ass.
Okay, you just proved my point. There we go. He's
What?
saying yeah in response to Howard Stern calling his daughter a piece of ass. Come on, bro. You got to call out this behavior. That's disgusting. This is what I mean by you're a
I'm
cult
not-
member.
I'm
so
not
again, we know that
a
he was
cult member.
using
Okay.
that connotation of the term voluptuous because of that conversation they were having directly prior. We can point to specifically the way that I'm using the term cult member because I told you it is the case that you are willing to support him no matter what the fuck he says.
That doesn't.
You're a cult
explain to me
member.
what
You
cult
are a
member is.
cultist.
No.
Yes, you are. You are by definition, based upon the way I'm using
What's the
the term,
definition?
a cultist.
Okay, so we're going off your dictionary.
Absolutely.
The
Give
way
me a
you
separate
like to use-
definition.
Really?
Give me a secondary
Really?
definition.
So you're whatever you want the definition to mean, it's what you mean.
Yes, I can tell you
Right?
that's the way I'm using the term. Yes. That's how language
So
works.
whatever you want to do, it goes that way.
Yes,
That's
I just
not
have
how
to,
this
I just have to
world works.
clarify the usage of the term. Yes. That's how language works.
No, that's not how. That's not
That's
how.
exactly
language
how
works.
it
You
works,
go based.
actually.
You go based off what the actual meaning of the word is.
Okay,
You don't
when
go based off what
when you
you
say
feel like the word
actual
wants to
meaning,
mean.
let me ask you this question. When you say actual meaning, who establishes the actual meaning of a term?
Not the speaker.
Then
It
who?
goes
Then
based
who?
off what the dictionary. The dictionary.
The dictionary. The dictionary is a catalog of how people commonly use the term. Okay? So it inevitably
So what's the
will
common
rely
meaning?
on the speakers using it in a certain way to then define what it means in the dictionary. Dude, you have no clue how dictionaries work. You have no clue how language works. Stop making these points as a basis to like dispute that you're a cultist when you literally clearly are going to support Donald Trump no matter what the fuck he says.
You keep on avoiding the fact that I want you to look up the definition of a cult and tell me
Dude,
what it means.
How about you do it? You look it up. I'll thank some people in the meantime. Go look it up. You find whatever definition you would like to use, and we'll use whatever definition you would like, man. Jesus Christ, dude. If you want to support me, as always, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Linktree in the bio, as well as the description of the YouTube, as well as you can support me over YouTube Super Chat, everybody, and in the pinned comment on my YouTube. We have a little bit left on the live, a little bit less than 2 hours left on the live, everyone. Just letting everyone know we're not going to be live for much longer. We're over halfway through the stream. Ian, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much, Ian. Feisty, thank you for the $5. Thank you. Lulu with the $5. Thank you. Tim, thank you so much for the $2. Thank you. Feisty, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you so much, Feisty. Add your name. Thank you for the Galaxy. Coral, thank you for the $20. Thank you so much, Coral. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Zamario, thank you so much. Really appreciate the £2. Azzy, thank you so much. Really appreciate the $5. Thank you so much. Sherry, thank you for the $10. Pumpkin, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you so much. If you think that the guest on the live right now is a cultist, type 3 in the comment section right now.
I'm a cultist.
Grateful.
Okay.
Thank you for the
Yeah.
$4.20. Thank you.
Can I tell you the definition now? Or are you going to interrupt me?
Go for it.
A cult, by Oxford Dictionary, is a small group of people taken out of normalization.
I can't hear you when you swipe out of the app.
Because I'm reading the definition.
Yeah, but I can't hear you when you're out of the app.
I know I stop talking when I swipe out and then.
Okay, that's fine.
A small group of people
Can't hear you.
having beliefs or practices, especially relating to religion, that regard as strange, sinister.
Okay, you're
Or-
cutting out too much for I can't really hear you. Just tell me where to find it. Oxford Dictionary definition of cult?
Yes.
Okay. All right. A relatively small group of people having beliefs or practices, especially relating to the to religion, that are regarded by others as strange or sinister, or as imposing excessive control over members. That sounds like Trump.
Really?
That sounds like Trump supporters like you.
Really?
Yep. You're a relatively small group of
Okay.
people that have practices,
Relatively-
especially relating to
relatively
religion,
small.
that are regarded
Relatively
as
small.
strange or sinister, or as
Hold on,
imposing
we're
excessive
relatively small?
control over members such as yourself, where
So
you
we're
can't leave
relatively
regardless no matter what he says.
So we're relatively small.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like,
Then
I
why'd
don't
you
think-
lose a? Then why'd you lose a presidential election? If we're relatively small.
Wait, by the way, his only dispute to him being a part of a
Mm-hmm.
cult is the size of the group. That's it. It's not based upon whether or not there's authoritarian mechanisms in control. It's not whether or not he's going to follow them no matter what. It's specifically whether or not the group is big or small. Just to clarify, that's his dispute. That's his argument.
Really?
You know what? It's a big
you
cult.
think I'll
You
just
know
go
what?
ahead.
You know what? I
You'll
agree with
just-
you. It's a very big cult. I tell you, it's a very big cult. Okay.
So you're just
It's
thinking
very
that I'm
big, I
not
tell
gonna
you.
leave.
Look how big that cult is. It's a big cult. You know what I mean? What? I need to add big right before it because apparently size matters to you. Now.
Really? So I'm in a cult because I follow Trump instead of someone who slept her way into office, slept her way up the ranks.
Oh, can you? What evidence do you have that she slept her way into office?
There's so much proof online.
What's the evidence? What's the proof online?
I'll have to find it.
Go ahead. I'll give you time. We'll have to find it. Look, chat. I think this is where he's going to be looking. Oh wait, hold up. Let me see if I can find it, chat. Let me see if I can find it. Oh wait, hold up. I think I found it. Hold up. Oh, wait. Is this it? No, that wasn't it. Fuck. Hold up, chat. I'm looking for it. Oh, fuck. Oh, I found it, chat. Look. I found it. I found the source. Look. I found the source. Let's go. SJB, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $20 on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Shelby, thank you so much for the $1. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Under his logic, no sling exists. That's true. Caitlin, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you so much. I'm about to go and get that right now. Kenzie, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you, Kenzie. Get W's for Kenzie in the comment section. And Tracy with the $50 on Cash App. Can we get some W's for Tracy in the comment section right now? Hey, thank you for the $1, by the way. But Tracy with the $50 on Cash App. Thank you so much. J Hat, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. And Othie, thank you so much for the $2. Thank you. Thank you. Chat, I'm gonna go and grab I'm gonna go get the anxiety pen. We got it. Oh shit. He left. No. Why'd he leave? Vanessa, thank you so much for the galaxy. Thank you. Taylor, thank you so much for the $3. Thank you. Absolutely. Altered, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you. Alrighty. Let's see if we can get him back, chat. What was his name? I think he accidentally left. Shalem, thank you so much. Really appreciate the galaxy. Thank you. Thank you, Gabby. Thank you so much for the $10. Thank you. Again, Altered, thank you for the $5 for guest deciding. Trust me, bro. Ebook. I know, right? Taylor, thank you for the $3. Thank you. What was his name? Hey, bro, join back. Looks like he was running away.
Yo, am I in here,
bro? Yeah, you're in.
Yo, I didn't have to click an accept button or anything and just put me in.
Immediately in. Look at that.
Yeah, crazy. What's going on?
What's good? How's your day been so far, man?
Man, it's been all right. Just finally figured it out with a repair shop to get the car fixed.
Nice.
So, that's good. I got a really good deal on repairs. I've been on the phone with him trying to get a good deal for the last week, and I finally did. So I'm in a good mood.
That's great. We love that. I just had a guest up here say that Kamala Harris slept her way to the top. I asked him for sources and evidence. He said he's gonna go look it up and then left. So,
dude, okay? They all say that. I feel like this is not a unique experience, and that I've heard the same conversation on your live 3 times in the last 48 hours.
I know, right? Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hey, man, 24.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes, I do.
For sure. Osiris, thank you for the $10. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. London, thank you for the $5. Thank you. Gabby as well. Thank you for the $10. Need some W's for Gabby again. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Word has it the last guest is still looking for the source. Awesome. Thank you for the $5. Cash, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you. And Cree, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you. So why do you support Donald Trump?
Mainly border and economic reasons.
Such as?
Well, I agree with the notion that, illegals need to be deported, and we need to kind of emphasize lower taxes.
Okay, undocumented immigrants, one. And then you want lower taxes.
Yeah.
So you know that Trump is increasing taxes, right?
I mean, if he is or isn't, I feel like the tax would be lower compared to Democrats.
Nope. Especially for income earners under $400,000 a year, because Kamala Harris is going to keep all the tax cuts from the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act for income earners under $400,000 a year, and she's actually going to increase the amount of taxes they would get through the increase in the child tax credit, the $25,000 tax credit for first-time home buyers for new homes, and then also we can point to the fact that Donald Trump would impose tariffs on top of that, meaning that low and middle income individuals will spend a greater proportion of their income specifically in taxes, because it is a case that they spend a greater proportion of their income on consumer goods. So if consumer goods go up in prices based upon the tariffs, it's going to cause an increase in how much they have to pay to a greater extent comparative to rich people.
Yo, you eat it, bro.
Well, I mean, like, personally, like, I'm a business owner, right? Like, construction based, and I just, I know he advocates for smaller businesses and stuff through incentives and stuff, and lower gases and whatnot. It just adds up, like I'm gonna have to pay less out of pocket.
So you say you have to pay less out of pocket. This is not true. Tariffs are going to impact construction. Haven't they impacted like all of the different materials that you use in construction?
Slightly, not by much. I don't know if I'm gonna feel it later or not, but I do think it's gonna be a positive net benefit, even if it hurts me in the short term.
I mean, it's still going to harm you in the long run, because it is the case that it will continually be more expensive in the long run. Plus, what you're not taking into account is the fact that the labor market, or not the labor market, the demand market for houses will also go down as well, because people won't be able to buy houses to the same extent because of the fact that, one, GDP isn't growing to the same degree as what it was prior. Unemployment is increased. The jobs report was so bad that Trump fired the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, right? Specifically brought back in someone new, and then it literally has decreased in terms of the amount of new jobs that we saw for this next month, even comparative to the prior one. And that's around 7 to 10 times less what we saw like literally a year ago under the Biden-Harris administration. And that's why Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, indicated that they're going to risk heightened inflation by reducing interest rates, specifically because the jobs report was so bad that it would risk stagflation.
And this is because of the tariffs, you say, right?
Yeah, this is because of Donald Trump's tariffs that he's imposed himself.
Well, I feel like this is more like a short-term kind of thing, and long-term, we're gonna feel the benefits with increased jobs and whatnot.
Okay, so long-term, it's going to increase benefits. None of those things are going to increase in the long run. There's no good evidence that it will increase net in the long run.
Well, I think tariffs do protect American jobs and create more ones at the same time.
So it can create them in the context of domestic manufacturing. It can create them in domestic manufacturing, but how many are you going to lose in terms of export jobs? How many are you going to lose in other aspects of the market that are not as efficient now because we're spending time specifically on producing goods for United States citizens rather than relying on our comparative advantage?
But what's wrong with making it in America,
Because it is the case that we're artificially imposing that we should be making goods in which would be less profitable for us to make in the United States comparative to places around the world.
So you're taking advantage of the fact that you can take advantage of other countries, to buy things cheaper and bring them over here.
Yeah, so buying things cheaper is incredibly important to a specific extent, obviously within a certain threshold of us wanting things, but we obviously want to maintain safety and security of our markets as well.
But at the same time, if you make it in America, you're incentivizing more jobs. Like, isn't that like why would you be against that?
RB, I'm going to go ahead and repeat something that Parker just said. See, I'm just listening to this conversation so far, and I can tell you that he's already addressed this. So he said it can create more jobs in the context of domestic manufacturing, but the question is, what inefficiencies are going to be produced by said restriction on the market, which would cause us to lose jobs in other sectors, such as exporting jobs or industries, where, we might not, such as exporting jobs or other related industries. Not to mention the fact that there's other policy that Donald Trump has that he's already begun to implement that are losing us jobs in the manufacturing sector, such as his mass deportation. So overwhelmingly, I'd say that his tariffs are negative because they have a net detrimental effect on the economy as a whole by producing more inefficiencies, losing us exporter jobs, and kind of ignoring and restricting competitive advantage. And then the one sect that it might help, which would be American manufacturing, is ultimately going to be hurt more by his other policies, such as mass deportation.
Okay.
It's also like a lot of like more specific manufacturing sectors where they are reliant on raw materials produced in other countries for their manufacturing that are going to be hurt, such as, for instance, the housing market with lumber produced in Canada or steel and tile produced in Mexico.
Yeah, I understand that, the materials are going to cost more if you bring them from other countries, but if we can get them in America, that's basically an incentive to kind of get the materials from America instead.
Well,
so short term, it's going to
already getting more of their materials from American companies is because it costs more from American companies. And obviously, if they are now going to be reliant on those American companies because of the tariffs, their raw materials that they're using to manufacture their goods are going to be more expensive, meaning their goods that they are going to manufacture are going to be more expensive as well, disrupting the equilibrium price and causing disruptions in the overall supply chain, as well as the economic efficiency of these companies and their productive capacities.
You realize the exorbitant tariff amounts are just kind of a leverage tool to get a new trade deal?
Well, if they're just going to be used as a leverage tool to get a new trade deal, then they're actually not going to incentivize any new manufacturing in the country, as tariffs that would incentivize new manufacturing in America would have to be concrete, reliable, and long-term, as that is the only thing.
Yeah, which is what he's doing. He's trying to get a better long-term deal.
Companies operating outside of America to invest millions or even billions of dollars into building new manufacturing plants that will take 3 to 6 years. But if they're short-term, they're not concrete, and they're going to go away once trade deals are made, as many already have, well, then we're not going to see that incentivization exists for the more long-term scope of building new manufacturing plants in this country.
Either way it goes, I feel like it's going to benefit us long-term, even if it's like manufacturing here or get a better trade deal,
Yeah, okay, well, so far I've given you two arguments. The first argument that I gave you was to demonstrate why tariffs, even if they were to be long-term, are going to be a net negative for the American economy, especially when we consider Donald Trump's other policy like mass deportation. And then the second argument that I gave you is if they're not going to be here for the long term and they're being used as bargaining chip for trade deals, well, then you're just never going to achieve your end goal of moving more manufacturing to this country. So would you mind responding to either of those two arguments? Because I feel like your last statement of just saying either way, I feel like there's going to be long-term benefits, is you just kind of, I don't know, like squirming around my arguments and not really addressing it or responding to them.
Okay, well, I mean, just my stance is that like either way that it goes, we're gonna see the benefit from it.
Okay,
that's pretty much all I have to say from that.
Now give an argument for that stance by refuting the two positions I gave you.
Well, I'm basically saying that, like, let's say Trump sticks with the tariffs. Okay, cool, we manufacture in the States, right? Or he's using that as a trade kind of sorry, one sec.
Well, I mean, so even in that first...
He's using that as a leverage in his trades, right?
Twice.
To negotiate a better trade deal.
Hey, RB, first argument, you completely ignored the position that I gave you twice and Trump gave you once. Right? Sorry, I read Trump in the chat. I meant to say Parker. Not Trump. I meant to say Parker. I read the word Trump in the chat.
Crazy,
I read the word Trump in the chat.
Dude. Yeah, okay,
no,
I've done that before. I'm not going to lie with your name.
Somebody adamantly said that Netanyahu and Trump...
because I read it in the chat. I got you.
Yo, anyways. So you're just now continuing to repeat that if they exist in the long term, they're going to help with manufacturing. Me and Parker have already given you the same argument 3 times now to refute that notion. Can you please repeat the argument that we gave you to refute that notion just to make sure that we're on the same page?
Listen, I don't have any like concrete evidence to kind of show that it's going to work long term. Like we're just going to have to wait on and see. But I just feel like it's better than having free trade.
That's not the question that I asked you. The question that I asked you was, could you please repeat the argument that me and Parker gave you 3 times?
With the argument that about just getting like stuff worldwide cheaper and stuff?
No.
What was your argument again?
I'll repeat it for a fourth and final time. It's that, sure, maybe the tariffs might help domestic manufacturing. However, they're going to have a net negative effect due to the negative impacts that they're going to have on American exporters, alongside many American manufacturers that are reliant on raw materials produced in other countries. And, you know, even if you can test this, when we consider mass deportation and the incredibly destructive effect that is going to have on American manufacturers, the picture becomes clear. Donald Trump's policy as a whole is incredibly detrimental to the American economy, American manufacturers, and American consumers.
So you're saying it's going to hurt American manufacturers because of the tariffs, basically? Well, yeah. Short term, I believe so, yeah. But I think long term, it's going to work out.
Dude, that wasn't the argument I gave you, man. I mean, this is just rust. I feel like you're just not even listening to what I'm saying.
Yeah, you just keep repeating this point that in the long run they're going to work out. One, you don't have any evidence in the long run they're going to. Did he leave? Yeah, he did. One, he doesn't have evidence it's going to work out in the long run, and two, it's he's not even responding to any of the points we're making about how it's detrimental. But yeah, let's go on to the next person real quick. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen.
I'll probably hang out for a little bit longer, but apparently Trump is doing the speech with Netanyahu, and I'll probably go live to cover that.
Okay, for sure.
Yo,
what's up? How old are you? Okay, they just cut out. Yeah, anytime you want to go do that, absolutely go for it, because I know how time sensitive that is. What time does he go up for the speech? Okay, let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates, everyone. I've about an hour and a half left on my live anyway, by the way. Just letting you know, Dean. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hey, I am 30.
Do you support Donald Trump?
I do.
Okay, if you could go back in time and you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, who would you vote for?
You know what? I wrote in 3 times in a row. I have 5 minutes here, but my question to you is,
you wrote in, so not
how
Trump.
can the...
Okay, let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I didn't mean to join. Can you please kick me?
You're good. Don't worry. Let's go on to the next person here real quick, everybody. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Okay, let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen, everyone. We are just looking for some debates. Alrighty. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
How you guys doing? I'm
Do you
29.
support Donald Trump?
Yeah, yes and no. I know he's a douche, and I know he's done some fucked up shit. The only thing that I really agree with what he's got going on is the tariffs, but not in the long run.
Hold up. But if you could go back in time and you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, who would you vote for? I'm sorry, the audio is so scuffed. Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 22.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Kind of like the other guy, do and I don't, but I'm very open-minded to changing sides. Just depends.
If you could go back in time and you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, who would you vote for?
So I would still vote for Trump, mainly because, like what you were saying, how Kamala promised all these things, but while she was in the vice president spot, did she really get much done?
Yeah, I think she had the most tie-breaking votes of any vice president ever, including the Inflation Reduction Act. Can you tell me a single thing that J.D. Vance has done as vice president?
You see, honestly, I don't know anything about that guy. That's why I'm kind of iffy on stuff, because I don't know a lot.
Okay.
Like I'm only 22. I haven't
Thing
done a lot
Trump
of
did as
research.
president that you like?
A lot of, I guess, peace treaties, but then again, like I said, I don't know a lot. I'm open-minded to like switching. I haven't really heard much from y'all's side that makes me
What
want to
peace
switch.
treaties?
See, that's the thing. I don't know. I just hear it all the time, and I don't hear a lot of good stuff from y'all's side. And I was just like, want to learn more.
Okay, yo, Parker, I'm gonna go ahead and drop down and watch a little bit of the Trump Netanyahu joint conference to see if it's something that I want to cover.
For sure. I'll see you, bro.
All right, I appreciate you for letting me out, man. And yeah, I'm gonna be live on my account in like the next 5 or 10 minutes.
All right, I'll see you, bro.
So like my thing is like when you were saying that she would promise like lower taxes, affordable housing, and all this shit. Isn't Trump also trying to lower taxes, like cutting taxes on tips and doing all the tax cuts to the middle class?
Yeah, Kamala Harris would have kept all of those, but she would have imposed even greater tax cuts for the working and middle class. And Donald Trump is imposing even more taxes for the working and middle class through the context of tariffs. So tariffs will lead to higher levels of taxes for working and middle class Americans comparative to what Harris's plan would be overall.
Okay, that makes sense.
You would pay less if Harris were in office, is essentially the point, unless you make over $400,000 a year.
Trying to make close to that.
So yeah, you would pay less yourself.
So when I had asked you, like, what did she really get done in vice presidency, all you said was that she was record-breaking for most votes as vice president, and that was about it?
Tie-breaking votes, including the Inflation Reduction Act. She had the most tie-breaking votes of any vice president ever, meaning she was the most influential, one of the most influential vice presidents ever, especially in the modern era.
Yeah, so in the sense that she was put in charge by Biden, if I'm not mistaken, to be in charge of controlling the border, do you think she did a good job?
She wasn't specifically with controlling the whole border. Her particular authority that she was granted was to raise private funds for Central American countries to reduce the likelihood of people coming here, which she did. She raised over $5 billion in private funds to reduce the likelihood of people coming to the country, right? Because of economic insecurity.
So I live in South Texas, like 5 minutes I can go to Mexico like nothing.
Okay.
So when a lot of people were coming over, we had people like piling up parks, begging for food and doing all this stuff. Like, I feel like they were taken away from our community, which has already stopped because of Trump, in my opinion.
No, people coming to our country and immigrating here are not taking away from our communities. They're adding to our communities more than what we'd be able to do ourselves. And thank you for $2. Man, thank you so much for the $20 on YouTube Super Chat.
So in the sense of mass deportation that's going on now, with all the stuff that's going on, with all the shit that's going on.
Say it again?
So you're saying that, so like with all the mass deportation, you're saying that society is going to start failing due to that?
I'm saying that our economy is worse off because of mass deportation. Our economy is worse off because of less immigration.
So we're supposed to allow illegal immigrants into our country just because they help.
No, we should provide a pathway to citizenship for undocumented immigrants who haven't committed a violent crime or bad crime, so that they can be in the country legally.
Okay, so
and
you
need
just
to provide a faster,
you want to
quicker legal process.
Okay, yeah. So like just speed up the process of legal immigration.
Absolutely.
Okay, valid. Well, that's pretty much it.
Okay, all right.
Thanks.
Appreciate you coming up. Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen. It will help get it out to more people. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
19.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes, I do.
What's your birth year?
So, but I only really have one question.
Are you going to debate?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Okay, so if you don't support the tariffs and getting manufacturing in this country, then you do support the child labor that's being used to make things now?
So no, I don't. And I think that actually you're worsening labor conditions in countries around the world by imposing universalized tariffs on those countries rather than specifically applying tariffs on the specific companies that would be engaging in that particular business practice. Because what you're doing is you're incentivizing them to reduce labor standards to be able to compete with the markets in the U.S. right? Given the imposition of the tariff still being in place. So actually what you're doing is going to create worse standards for labor around the entire world. And what I would advocate for would be hyper-specialized tariffs on companies that engage in that particular type of business practice. So if anyone buys from a company that engages in a business practice such as that, they would specifically then have to pay the tariff. Oh, they left. So the next person, only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
My name, 21.
Do you support Donald Trump?
I voted for him, and I'd do it again.
Okay, why so?
I mean, it was like a question of who is the lesser of two evils.
Okay, and what makes you think Trump is the lesser of two evils?
Well, it's not really lesser of two evils. It's more of who I thought could run the country better. And I didn't feel like Kamala was genuine.
Okay, what makes you think that Kamala Harris was not genuine and Donald Trump was genuine?
Kamala Harris flipped on a lot of her policies. If you look at what her policies were in 2020, whenever she was in the primary run for the election, a lot of them are actually almost like complete opposites of what she was actually running on in 2024.
Can you give me an example?
I think there was one about she used to be against policing, against defunding the police. She was for the defund the police movement, and then in 2024 she was all about it. Same with the fracking and oil.
I don't think she even talked about defund the police in 2024. So, and also, by the way, I don't know if she even very much talked about that prior. Under the Biden-Harris administration, they actually were not for defunding the police, but there's a few things there we can address. You say that Kamala Harris flips on policies. Who actually flips on policies is Donald Trump. He said that he was going to release the Epstein files and then didn't release the Epstein files. He said that he was going to end the war in Ukraine in 24 hours. He clearly did not have the capacity to do that and didn't do that. And now he's pro-Ukraine. By the way, can you hear me right now? Is it lagging?
You sound fine.
Okay. Sorry. My chat just wasn't loading. He also said he was going to end the war in Ukraine in 24 hours and then chose not to do that specifically, and actually didn't get any deal with Putin, and specifically then has now gone full Ukraine, saying that he can full pro-Ukraine, saying he can take back the entirety of Ukraine, everything that was taken from Russia in the very first place. So he's flipped on that. He flipped specifically on his policy in terms of repealing and replacing the ACA, and in this admin he's advocated specifically to keep it in place. I can point to a million different things. He's flip-flopped on his policy over and over again. We can point to his policy on paid for IVF. He flip-flopped on that.
Well, I will admit Trump flips on a lot of policies, but I don't think he really flips his beliefs on what he actually believes. I think he just says things that will get the most popular opinion and he believes will get the most votes for him.
So what makes you think that Kamala Harris is not doing that exact same thing?
I think she was doing the exact same thing. The difference was
because she's more genuine.
No,
she wasn't doing that because she's not disingenuous like Trump. She's not just willing to say things she doesn't believe in order to get votes.
I think Kamala said some things she probably doesn't believe in to get votes. I think that's kind of the difference. I think one thing was with the oil and her positions on fracking and banning fracking, and then when she actually has to run, where if she had the ability to ban fracking or change things in the Biden that happened in the Biden administration, she admitted that she couldn't think of a single thing that she would do differently than Biden.
The Inflation Reduction Act had within it fracking leases. So she was willing to compromise on fracking in order to ensure that they had renewable energy policy. So the largest net investment in renewable energy ever. Not saying she agrees with fracking, but she was willing to compromise on it.
Well, yeah, I want someone who agrees with it all the way.
You want someone who isn't willing to compromise?
Well, I want someone who's willing to compromise, but not somebody.
Okay, you just conceded.
Like Kamala Harris.
Okay, explain to me how what she did there is not flip-flopping, it's called compromise. So explain to me how Kamala Harris is less honest and genuine compared to Donald Trump. Because I can give you many examples of Donald Trump being disingenuous and lying, and you could not give me the same level of examples for Kamala Harris.
There's also the McDonald's thing. I don't know if it was ever proven she lied about it, but she never had any proof to back up her claims that she worked at McDonald's.
Why would she lie about that?
To become more relatable to the everyday working class person.
That doesn't change how much she's relatable. It really doesn't. Is there any person that ever cited that as a reason as to why they like felt more related to her? Like, that makes no sense. That is seriously such a useless thing to do. Why would she ever lie about that?
Well, I mean, she could never prove it, so I don't.
What? Why do you have to?
she wouldn't
What do you
lie
mean
about
she
it.
could never prove it? Do you have any evidence she didn't work there?
She never proved she worked at McDonald's, and as far as
I
I'm
mean,
concerned,
you don't
there's
have
more
to
evidence
prove.
that
You don't
Trump
have to
worked
provide
at
evidence that you worked places.
I mean, if you're gonna claim it in an election, I feel like you probably
Who cares? Who cares
I
where she
care.
worked? And who cares if she worked at McDonald's when she was younger? Who gives a fuck?
Someone who's worked like fast food and is working these jobs, if someone is trying to come off as relatable to me and more genuine, and they say stuff like that without proof or anything to back it up, and then Trump does the same thing.
What do
He
you
goes
mean?
to
Why-
McDonald's
they don't need
and
to
actually
find.
lives.
They don't. You don't need. If I told you that I worked a job when I was younger, would I need to provide you evidence of that for you to believe it?
If you were running for the president, I would expect that.
Okay. Donald Trump said that he won the 2020 election. Do you expect evidence for him to provide?
Yeah, I would.
Do you have an
expect
issue that you didn't
evidence.
provide
I
any
don't
of the
believe-
evidence?
I think he can just he gets to say what he wants because his base doesn't eat him alive.
Oh, so he can just lie without any accountability, essentially, is what you're saying? And you're only willing to
pretty
apply
much.
accountability to Kamala Harris because you, as a part of Trump's base, are a part of a cult and you won't call it your own side?
The day I decided to not ever support the Democrats was the day I was in class. Whenever we learned the news of what happened, the one day you were at the event, and I literally saw people start smiling and cheering, and I could see the hatred that people have, and I knew I didn't want to associate myself.
So if
with
that didn't happen, you wouldn't support Donald Trump?
I would have still have supported Donald Trump.
Okay,
but
so shut the fuck up. That's not the reason. Now give me an actual reason. That was such a useless bullshit fucking, oh my god, I want to look good sort of point. Oh, it's so cringe. Like,
Yeah.
you want to look good to your own conservative base. That looks good to no one but your own
Not about
conservative
looking
base. I just
good,
want to let
it's
you know.
about having like a value and not supporting people dying.
What are you saying? Supporting
Celebrating
people?
it. By
No,
celebrating
we're not
and
celebrating.
laughing
So
and being
if you want to,
cheerful,
if you
I
want to,
literally watch people celebrate.
okay. Now, do you want to talk
People
about?
at my
Do you want to talk about how Trump supporters celebrated the murdering of the Hortmans? Do you want to talk about Trump supporters celebrated the beating of Paul Pelosi with a fucking hammer? Trump supporters were celebrating that.
That wasn't like a majority.
How do you feel about
though.
that? How do you
wasn't
feel
a
about Trump
mass amount of
supporters
people.
celebrating that?
I didn't see. I wasn't there.
Oh, well,
watching
that was
people
happening all
celebrate.
over the internet.
Is it? Do you actually believe that's on the same scale that the support for their death was?
Yes, genuinely, if not more.
Do you think? More?
Yes,
I
genuinely,
know there has to
genuinely.
be
The
more.
right has been supporting violence over and over again. They literally support Donald Trump pardoning a violent rioter who beat police officers on January 6th. Okay?
Okay. We could go into the.
They were
January
laughing
6th
about it
stuff.
all over Twitter, talking about it, how they should possibly bail out the guy. Do you remember all of that conversation? They were literally laughing about it, talking about bailing them out. And these are big figures. Okay? You can't even point to a single big figure that did that on the left. This is ridiculous. It's such a double standard. You guys will never talk about how you guys cheer on violence over and over again. You will never talk about that. You will never acknowledge it from your own side. You only use it to ingrain yourself in your own perspective. You don't care about unifying as a country. You don't care about coming together. You don't care about us having any type of meaningful basis for facts and reason and evidence and critical thought. All you care about is to continue dividing this country and to continue upholding the division and the violence by supporting people like Donald Trump. If you actually cared about unifying this country, you wouldn't support Trump. If you actually cared about the violence that happens in this country, you would not support Donald Trump. And that's point blank period. And I'll give you the explicit examples and the reasons as to why. I already have.
Okay, the explicit examples to the January 6th thing. I think then some new stuff just came out from the FBI that said there was like 200 FBI agents in the crowd or something.
Okay, one, that's not substantiated, at least to what I've seen so far. And two, say that's true. That doesn't justifying pardoning violent rioters who beat police officers.
arrested? How many people involved in the George Floyd riots were...
Wait, name one person that the Democrats pardoned who engaged in a riot.
I'm not worried about who they pardoned. I'm worried about who didn't get arrested.
Wait, again, that wouldn't be specifically due to the orders of the Biden administration. So can you specifically address this? Again, can you address the fact that Donald Trump pardoned, intentionally took away the charges and the convictions of people who assaulted police officers on January 6th, and he called them patriots too?
Okay, I don't agree with that, and I don't really support that.
But that's the side you're defending. You're trying to blame us, right? But you're not trying to blame yourself.
It's one issue on the side that I'm defending, but it doesn't mean I support every single action or decision that he's made.
So then why are you blaming us for that? Why are you saying the left is like this and you're blaming me for that, right? But then you're not willing to do that with yourself when it's literally significantly more prevalent.
Because I don't engage in violence or support it. I don't engage in violence or support violence.
You literally support Donald Trump.
Supporting Donald Trump does not equate to supporting violence.
I mean, he pardoned violent rioters, he beat police officers, right? He incited a violent insurrection at the Capitol. I mean, like, at what point would supporting it not be deemed as you supporting violence? What do you support of Trump's?
I support some stronger immigration policy. I support, I mean, there's a lot of things. It's mostly just the things that I didn't support were on the other side, so naturally.
So is there anything else other than stronger immigration policy? You just said you don't like things on the left. That's all you said?
Also, manufacturing stuff.
Okay, what else?
The manufacturing has left America. I mean, that's really the biggest thing. There's also like gas prices and inflation and just the general everything.
Okay, this is so hilarious. So gas prices have gone up since Trump got in office. Inflation has gone up since Trump imposed Liberation Day tariffs, and they continue to trend up because tariffs put upward pressure on prices. We are manufacturing less stuff in this country because of real manufacturing investment declining in this country since Trump got in office after a massive increase into the Biden-Harris administration. It's declined not only in Trump's first term in terms of domestic manufacturing accounting for inflation, but also in the term since he's got in office. And then all you could bring up other than that, because all of those other points were completely and totally false, right, was stronger immigration policy. What about his immigration policy do you like?
I like the fact that people aren't crossing the border like they used to.
So it's based on the level of crossings. So did you know that Biden inherited inherited a less secure border than he gave over to Trump? Because Trump specifically, he inherited a level of border crossings that were lower daily averages comparative to Trump's first term when he handed it over to Biden.
And then Biden got in office, and are we just going to ignore the 3 years?
And by the time he left, it was more secure than the way that he inherited it.
Okay, now you're just kind of just twisting stuff that doesn't.
No,
make
I'm
any
not.
sense.
I'm not. And Trump, based upon that same determination, the first time he got in office, it was less secure, right, when he left office than when he got in office. When Obama handed it over to him, it was more secure. There were lower daily average crossings at the beginning of Trump's admin when he inherited, right, inherited the presidency, right, comparative to the end of his administration in 2021, right, when the time that Biden was taking over. So Trump inherited a more secure border than he gave over to Biden, and then Biden inherited a less secure border than he gave over to Trump.
Okay, are you going to get into the stats of the total number of crossings over their term?
I just told you. I gave you the specific basis for it. It was the level of border crossings. And you can find this from the CBP.
Okay, well, I've looked at the stats for the number of border crossings overall over the entire term.
I'm talking about daily average crossings at particular times. I will acknowledge that there were more people that came under the Biden administration. That's because of economic insecurity relating to the pandemic. I'm specifically mentioning when they got in office and when they left office. And based upon the way that you're using the term, because it's totally based on border crossings, it is the case that, again, Biden inherited a less secure border than he handed over to Trump, and Trump inherited a more secure border than he handed it over to Biden. And that's a fact.
And did the crossings go up after Trump was announced, or after Biden was announced as the winner? Is that the time frame we're looking at between like November and January?
It was relating more to the prior to the pandemic cutting people from coming into the country. It wasn't specifically just Biden announcing.
Okay, that's I mean, you're taking stats. If you're gonna use stats, you should use them more broadly, and you should focus on multiple.
Are you saying you
years.
should add extra context? Are you just saying border crossings up does not mean you're acknowledging any context there, right?
The only stat I really care about is how the actual number.
What context were you? What context were you providing when talking about the level of border crossings under the Biden admin? Are you going to acknowledge that COVID had a backlog of people that were not able to come prior? Are you going to acknowledge the global inflation, right, relating to supply chain issues during the pandemic that have nothing to do with the Biden administration that led to more people coming to our country because of economic insecurity around the world? And are you going to mention by the time that he left office, there were lower levels of border crossings than the end of Trump's first term?
Yeah, because Biden brought back some of Trump's policies before he got back in office to make him more electable.
So again, he addressed the context. And also Donald Trump undermined a bipartisan border bill, right? That literally would have addressed the conditions at the border earlier.
Obviously, he couldn't have the Democrats fixing the border.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? You don't give a shit about fixing the conditions of the border. All you cared about was him getting elected.
Well, whenever they break the border and then they try to act like they're the ones that are going to fix it, obviously, I don't think they should get away with that.
No, they weren't the ones that broke the border. It was Donald Trump because he didn't want to specifically pass a policy specifically to address the conditions at the border.
Was he the president for those 4 years?
He called people in Congress to undermine that. He had influence over the Republican Party. He was the leading candidate for president. He is now our president.
Yeah, and the border is way better, so I don't see what you're getting at. You can't.
Due to what policy of Trump's?
Different. His
because Trump already inherited a secure border, by the way. Trump already inherited a secure border. What's that?
The way he said, it's also the narrative and the policy of whenever Biden's acting like people should be allowed to come into the country, they're going to come into the country. Whenever you act like you're hard on borders and you're taking a hard stance against it, people aren't going to test you.
I think it's better that more people came to the country. The immigration surge that happened under the Biden-Harris administration will lead to an $8.9 trillion increase in the GDP by 2034, according to the Congressional Budget Office, a nonpartisan committee from the federal government. So again, we can acknowledge the set of conditions that it was specifically due to the economic insecurity that exists around the world, and it wasn't specifically due to the Biden administration policy, but actually more people coming to the country is a good thing. You have no argument for it being bad. It's actually significantly better in terms of our culture, our society, our environment, our level of crime in our country, our GDP, right? Our level of wages. We can point to plenty of things specifically that are significantly better off because we have higher levels of immigration, which increases the level of innovation within our society, increases the level of competition within our society, which is a good thing, given it also increases the level of demand within our society, therefore incentivizing a creation of a greater level of jobs.
And I agree with that as long as they can come here legally.
Okay, and we need to incentivize people to come. We need to incentivize people to come here legally, specifically by providing a pathway to citizenship for those that haven't committed violent crimes and bad crimes.
Yeah, I agree. We should have an easier way to get citizenship.
Let's go.
CC, how old are you?
I'm 26.
Do you support Donald Trump?
I do.
For sure. Let me finish this conversation, then we can move on to that. Go ahead.
You're good.
I got banned here soon, but shit, I forget where I was at. It was, yeah, we should have a better pathway to get more legal citizenship in our country. Another thing Trump just talked about, I think, was the $100,000 H-1B visa fee, which I think...
That's not a good thing. That's really bad, actually. That reduces immigration even more, which reduces the size of our GDP, reduces the level of innovation in our society, reduces the productive capacity of our economy.
Do you think it's worse for a citizen that is trying to get a job in a certain tech field?
I think it's worse not to have immigration. I think it's worse to ban immigration. And the same argument you're using for putting a fee on H-1B visas would be an argument to ban all immigration.
I wouldn't say it's a thing to ban all immigration. It's to be more selective about who we let immigrate. We should only let basically the best people immigrate.
What do you mean by the best people? So then I'll ask you this question. Would you let someone held civilly liable of sexual abuse immigrate to the country legally if you could have the ability to determine whether or not they're allowed legally into the country or not?
Civilly liable. We're going to go back to the grape stuff. Okay.
No, I just want to ask you, would you let them legally enter the country?
As long as they're not criminally liable.
Okay, so if they were held civilly liable, you would let them legally enter the country?
As long as it wasn't criminal.
Someone held civilly liable of sexual abuse of a child, you let them legally enter the country?
I don't see how you could be civilly liable for that.
You can. So if someone was held civilly liable of sexually abusing a child, would you let them legally enter the country through immigration?
If someone was held civilly liable, I mean, probably not.
Okay, so then was the relevant difference between the victim being an adult and the victim being a child? That means in one scenario you'd let them legally enter the country, but not in the other.
I mean, I guess we shouldn't let them enter either way, but...
Okay, so if you wouldn't let someone held civilly liable of sexual abuse enter the country through the legal immigration process, why would you let them become president? Why would you let them enter the Oval Office?
Well, man, you can ask Kamala Harris that question.
No, you should ask yourself that question because you're the one that voted for Donald Trump. She's the one who ran up against the guy.
It's not Trump's fault that he won. It's the Dems' fault for losing.
No, it's your fault for voting for him.
It's my fault for voting for him?
Yes.
Or maybe it's the Dems' fault for not voting. Trump's numbers have remained relatively consistent throughout all the elections.
Wait. You could say that specifically it could be the fault of those that specifically didn't vote, and you could also say it's the specific fault of Trump supporters. And I would say it's a greater fault to the Trump supporters.
I would say it's a greater fault to the DNC and the people who are... If you can't beat Trump in an election, who are you going to beat?
What? Obviously, it's something that we can acknowledge on behalf of the DNC, but we can also acknowledge on behalf of the voters that they specifically just literally blamed the Biden-Harris administration for inflation when they did not cause inflation. Okay, so the number one reason in exit polling for why people voted for Donald Trump was something that if they did like small levels of critical thinking and research on, they would have seen that Trump was worse off because tariffs are advocating for inflation.
His tariffs are advocating for inflation, but
Absolutely.
He ran on reducing inflation.
He didn't reduce inflation. He said he was going to do so, but he was advocating for policies that would increase inflation. So again, with any level of critical thought, you would have known he was a hypocrite.
Well,
that he's claiming he's going to reduce prices while simultaneously advocating for policies that increase prices. Like, anyone who has an economics degree could see that. What's up?
To the average person, it was more believable that Trump would reduce inflation after we just went through a 4-year...
All you're saying is that he was a good con artist.
Inflation. I'm saying he's good at getting elected. And he's a good politician.
He's a good con artist?
He's a good politician.
He's a good con man.
That's how you define politician.
No, not all politicians are like conning the society we live in.
Like, I don't know. Nobody liked Biden. Kamala, I guess she was in a bad position.
You said nobody liked Biden. That's just not true.
Well, yeah, that's not true, but that's how politics works.
Okay, so then what's your point?
My point is that Trump was always supposed to win.
You're saying Trump was always supposed to win. What do you mean supposed to win?
Like, I think the day that, after like 2 years into Biden's presidency, it was pretty obvious that Trump was going to win the next one.
Okay, so just saying it's obvious that Trump was going to win, which it wasn't, right, isn't a reason as to why Trump should be the person in the position of power. You're not really giving an argument.
I'm just saying how it works. Whenever you have someone like Biden, and then you have someone trying to follow up what Biden did, and then acting like they're going to do all these new things, while things are going super bad. And then you think they're going to...
What things were bad because of the Biden-Harris administration?
You got inflation, you got the borders.
Okay, how did the Biden-Harris administration cause inflation?
You got censorship, you got...
How did the Biden-Harris administration cause inflation?
I think by increasing the national debt.
Trump signed off on more debt-related spending by $4 trillion more compared to the Biden-Harris administration, according to the Committee for Responsible Federal Budget, a nonpartisan committee from the federal government. So you're actually just wrong. Trump signed off on more debt-related spending by $4 trillion.
Are you looking at 2016 or the 2024 term?
2017 through 2021, comparative to 2021 through 2025.
And then what if you leave out the years from 2020 to 2021, where COVID had a major impact?
Yeah, if you take into account non-COVID related spending, Trump was 4.8 trillion, and the Biden-Harris administration was 2.2 trillion.
And what was Biden's, if you include his COVID, all of his
4.3 trillion overall, including COVID and non-COVID related spending. So even if you counted COVID and non-COVID related spending for the Biden-Harris administration in terms of debt-related spending signed into law, it would still be less than Trump's non-COVID related spending signed into law. Because Trump's non-COVID related spending signed into law was 4.8 trillion. 3.6 trillion was COVID related for Trump. So again, Trump did more even taking into account non-COVID related spending than the entirety of the Biden-Harris administration, even counting COVID.
I feel like it's a little different whenever the pandemic hits at the end of your term, after you've already spent all the money.
It wasn't at the end of Biden's term. That's ridiculous.
I'm saying Biden already went in knowing that
Biden had 2021, 2022, and 2023. Okay, he had Delta, Omicron, right? Those were bigger than the original.
It was all already factored in. The Trump administration couldn't have predicted that.
Hey, did you want me to stay muted? Was I supposed to wait for this conversation?
Oh, yeah. I was just waiting until this guy was done. But yeah, you can talk if you'd like.
Curtis, I don't know. I'll wait. I don't know if he wants to stay on here. I was gonna answer the prompt from a different angle, but I mean, if you guys want to continue this, I'll wait.
I mean, I got stuff to do, so I'll probably.
All right.
Sure.
All right.
I guess you want to tell me why you said that I have no talent in the comment section?
Yes, I was trying to get your attention. First, I want to address that what you're doing takes a lot of bravery, I'll be honest, because I was commenting how I felt, and when you accepted it, I definitely got that rush of like, whoa, like now it's real. All right, let's debate. So first, I want to even as a conservative, I want to acknowledge that what you do takes a lot of bravery, and it's very easy to type. So I want to first put that out. And to answer the prompt, I mean, I think the trouble we have and the reason I get those emotional comments off of my chest is because we all see the bad on both sides. Like whatever my algorithm's showing me is, since I'm a conservative, I see the bad of what the left does. And you obviously see the opposite. And we both, try to convince the other side of what bad they're doing. And I think that that's the downfall of the left right now, because even your prompt itself, Trump, right? In 2028, say there isn't a Trump on the ballot and we have someone running a JD Vance or whoever, wins going forward. What do you believe that the left's, my answer to the prompt is, I feel like the left stands for a lot of negativity towards one person instead of trying to stand for an actual movement, because my personal involvement and feeling being on the right, I feel like we live in the best country in the world. And I think that we have liberty and freedom that no one else in any other country in the world have. And if the left stood for something, I'd be able to open my mind to, because I am an open-minded citizen, and I used to very much hate Trump. I used to be like, wow, how could you? He's a rapist. He's a this, he's a that. But I think over time, my opinion has changed. So I think that the left doesn't stand for enough to where it's even a competition anymore. And I think the election proved that there's not a lot to be proud of as far as being on the left. But as for being on the right, I can tell you that it's been a movement. And I think I don't know how much you studied Charlie Kirk, but I think that there's a very good side and uplifting, empathetic strategy he approached different guests with. And I think that's something that you could almost use towards your following, because you obviously have a huge following. Go ahead. Sorry, Parker.
He thinks empathy is a made up new age term. Genuinely. He said that himself. Charlie Kirk said that himself. He said empathy is a made up new age term. So he doesn't like the word empathy. So I don't think he would agree with that phrasing that you just used. Secondly, if we want to talk about this, let's address a few things. Like, America is definitely not the country with the most liberty and freedom. You can look at the Human Freedom Index. We definitely do not rank highest for level of human freedom. There are a bunch of different countries around the world that have better levels of human freedom than we do. If you want to look at economic freedom, we have lower levels of economic freedom than a bunch of even what are more considered like liberal democracies. Like, for example, like Sweden, for example, has a freer economy than here in the United States, right? So that's actually something.
I mean, those stats are all great, but when it comes down to it, would you ever want to live in a different country than the United States of America?
Yeah.
Would you actually, if somebody?
The only reason that I live here because my family lives here. That's why I want to live here. But would I live in a different country? Absolutely.
Okay. So I guess my question would be, what are the positives of supporting the contrary to where I stand? Like,
well, I was going to tell you what our movement's based on. Like,
okay, I'd love that.
For example, we advocate for universal health care, right? A multi-payer or single-payer system that would specifically provide health care and health insurance access to everyone in this country, because right now 45 to 68,000 American lives are lost every single year due to lack of health insurance. We advocate for universal childcare, ensuring that people aren't spending upwards of $3,000 a month on basic childcare, right? That's absurd, right? And that definitely shouldn't be the case that, people have to take care of that because it limits their ability to take care of their children in other ways that are incredibly important. We believe in free public universities so that people can get broader access to education and social mobility within our system. And also the same thing is true is for trade schools as well. We can point to plenty of different policies we want to address in terms of the environment. We believe in building up energy production in the United States relating to renewable energy production to make us more energy independent and to then allow for us to respond to climate change so that we can then incentivize the rest of the world to also engage in that type of policy. So we believe in upholding people's health. We believe in providing greater levels of social mobility. We believe in lower levels of or higher levels of taxes for people who are rich in order to compensate for this so that we can have greater levels of fiscal responsibility.
May I ask, do you believe that the LGBTQ kind of extreme case scenarios, like as far as do you believe that women's sports specifically and transitioning men in those sports, do you believe that could be a inhibitor to how far left some of the perceptions are to your party?
No, we just need to talk about it because there are less trans people in the NCAA than there are sexual assault allegations from different women against Donald Trump. So this idea that trans people are going into sports and absolutely dominating is definitely not true. Can you name a single trans person?
I wouldn't even go that far to say Donald Trump. I'd say just male coaches in general. That's a great point.
Could you name a single trans woman specifically in women's sports that is dominating right now?
I could name cases. I couldn't name people. I think that every point you make is great. Coming from the way I see things, like every stat is probably right, and I don't know all the stats. And the problem I have with agreeing with you is that the normal working American has literal to no time to check all of these policies, all of these informations, facts, unless they listen to your live, which I think you spread a lot of good information. But from the extreme sides, which is your attack Trump, and we are kind of against a lot of the crazy ideologies that you guys, stretch, and we both see the negatives. I just think that there's a very positive movement on the right that maybe the left doesn't see an angle to follow the same kind of momentum, if you get what I'm saying.
Well, people care about economics, and I think I addressed that. I think that I addressed the fact that people can't afford their health insurance in this country. I addressed the fact that people can't afford childcare in this country. I addressed the fact that people can't afford basic access to education, right, in terms of higher education, right, in trade schools and stuff like that, right, which is important for social mobility. Housing is unaffordable in this country. And what policies do Republicans have to address any of those concerns? They don't. They don't have any of these policies. They constantly distract onto other types of topics that have nothing to do with economics so that we don't have the conversation about how they are destroying the economy, about how Donald Trump is literally putting tariffs in place that are causing working and middle class Americans to paying more in terms of their consumer products, and we have worse overall goods because of that, right? We're also leading to lower levels of jobs reports. We're also leading to higher levels of unemployment, higher levels of inflation, lower levels of growth for real GDP. All of this is worse off because of Donald Trump's imposition of tariffs. We have less certainty in the context of the market. We're devaluing the US dollar from a global standpoint. Why do we want to do this? That's every single thing that we care about. Number one exit polling for why people voted for Donald Trump was because they attributed inflation to the incumbent president. Trump ran on causing inflation. People just didn't realize it because Donald Trump lied to them and said he would lower prices, when his policies actively would increase prices. Tariffs put upward pressure on prices. That's indicated by basically every single economist. I couldn't name you a single economist that would tell you that tariffs decrease prices. Like, not a single economist I've ever heard in my life has said that. And I have an economics degree.
I can tell. And I think it's funny. People are saying, you said he's talented, he's not talented, and now you're praising him. I mean, the thing that ticked me off is there's obviously a lot of people that have, and I'm not saying I have a chance. I'm just saying there was a lot of people whose social skills didn't match up to yours. And it's very easy for you to talk over them and to just throw information that they can't even process. And I'm processing everything you're saying. And I want to retract that comment, but also say that it's possible to disagree agreeably. And I don't have anything more to say. I think that you've opened my eyes to the other side of what my algorithm isn't showing me. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that I don't support Donald Trump as fully as I did before hopping on here. I wanted to open the conversation as to what I might not be seeing, and you helped me do that. And I hope that the same goes for the extreme people who are very angry in your comment section that don't see the positives I see. And I think the more we can do that, we'll hopefully draw closer to some middle ground, because obviously there's a huge divide. And I know that you feel very strongly that it's entirely the right that is creating this divide. But I think we all have more in common than we really feel.
It's not the entirety of the right. It's people like Donald Trump that have invaded the right and have changed the right in such a way in which makes it impossible to unify. It makes it literally, that's what I'm saying. It makes it impossible for us not to have polarization, for us to unify, when Donald Trump literally does the things that he does, when he incites a violent insurrection at the Capitol, when he says that Democrats rigged the 2020 election with no evidence, when he says that he hates Democrats, right? Like, all of those things, right, are things that lead to more polarization in our country. And for some reason, whenever we call this out and we tell people that it is the problem of people on the right, in terms of Donald Trump supporters, not everyone on the right, people will just hear liberal or left-wing person saying this about side they don't agree with, and they don't hear the specific words that I'm saying. He is the reason why we're in this circumstance right now. Other conservatives do not act like this. It is genuinely possible to find common ground and mediums with other conservatives that do not uphold the hateful, bigoted ideologies that Donald Trump does, right? And the level of polarization that he upholds, because he upholds a unique level of bad polarization, right? That is not good for our country. And I have to be able to say that without it coming off as I'm just a liberal that's always going to say that about the right. Because my critiques are totally relevant, and they're not applicable to every single person on the right, but they're applicable to people who support Donald Trump. And that's why I'm like, we need to move on from Donald Trump. We need not to support him anymore. And we can absolutely find that middle ground, and we could come together, and we can have significantly less polarization in our country. But we have to stop the hate. We have to get rid of people like Donald Trump in terms of the hate, the bigotry. We need to put that aside and not let people who are like that get into positions of power, right? That's what we need to put. We need to be strong, right, in not allowing for that. And then we will have less polarization. Then we'll have more unity. Then we will truly be able to come together. And I hope that when people hear that, they get like goosebumps and they feel that, like nice sort of warm feeling inside, because that's truly what we need as a country. We need people to come together. We need people to unify, but we cannot unify behind the polarizing and disunifying message of Donald Trump. It's impossible to do that. It's contradictory and hypocritical within its very ideological nature.
And thank you for sharing that. I know you were looking for a debate, and I tried to be as competitive as possible. It's hard when we have different, socializing backgrounds. I do hope that the left approaches the election in 2028 without the mention. I think that was the hard part, was that all the blame has been on Trump this whole time. So it's not that I love Donald Trump as a person. It just felt like supporting the left was only standing for, I just don't like Trump. That's what the typical person I would come across came off as. So listening to you talk about the actual policies and me needing to, do the due diligence of what those contrary policies are, I think that I look forward more so to the election. And I didn't mean to put up a weak fight, but I appreciate your time.
Well, I really appreciate you coming up. Thank you so much. Keep critically thinking, keep reasoning out your positions, and keep trying to unify the country. That's really important. I appreciate you coming up, man.
You killed Jubilee, by the way. That's how I found out about you. You were on there, and yeah, man, I was just trying to rage bait in the comments, but you're and everybody that wants to hate me for saying it and taking it back, I take it back completely. So
don't worry.
You're spreading good stuff.
Appreciate you coming up. Thank you.
Thanks, partner.
All right, let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen. If you like this content, I do these debates literally every single day for around 4 to 5 hours every single day. I love and appreciate everyone coming through. Make sure to follow me if you haven't already. We're almost to 350,000 subscribers on YouTube. For everyone on YouTube, I would really appreciate if you do that. If you're on TikTok, do tap that screen. Ryan, thank you so much for the £5. I actually do have to catch up. I'm a little bit behind on donations. I'll catch up, and then I have a few more people to debate. We have about 40 minutes left on the stream, everyone. Lisa, thank you so much for the $11 on PayPal. Thank you so much, Lisa. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lisa. Kristen, thank you so much for the $40 on Venmo. Can we get some W's for Kristen in the comment section right now? Thank you so much, Kristen. Can we get some W's for Kristen in the comment section right now? Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. That's so great. I'm so glad that we can give you hope and strength in this. And I hope that everyone gets that from these conversations. I think that's so important. Thank you so much. Give me some W's right now in the comment section for Kristen. Thank you so much. Mary with the $20. Thank you so much, Mary. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Brittany, thank you for the $5. Thank you. For Trump announced 100% tariff on pharmaceuticals and foreign movies, and 50% on furniture. Yeah, that's crazy. That's actually unhinged. That's so unhinged. Libby with the $50. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Libby. Thank you so much. Absolutely. That's why these conversations are so important. That's why they're so important. I really believe in what I do. I really believe in what I do. I find a lot of purpose and meaning in what I do. I always just want people to know that. Like, I really do believe in it. There's nothing else I could be doing that I think I would be better at doing, and that I think would be doing as much as I could be doing this. So I believe so much in what we're doing here. And I just thank you everyone for coming through and supporting it. I really appreciate it. It really means a lot. Melissa, thank you so much for the $10. Trudy, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $5. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Liz, thank you for the $5. Leo, thank you for the $10. And Julianne, thank you so much. Or Julian, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $10. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Thank you. As well as Melonia, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $15 for Cheers to Inspiring Critical Thinking. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Let's go on to the next person here real quick. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Hey, what's up?
How's it going? I know my audio was fucked up a little bit. I was driving, and I didn't expect that to come up so soon. How's it going?
Yeah, so do you support Donald Trump?
Yes, and I know, I guess to continue on answering, it was about the tariffs, and you asked me if I could go back and choose whether I would vote for Trump or Kamala. After reviewing myself on the Kamala's policy and the new way, I lean definitely more toward her bill than this big, beautiful bill, because after reading through the big, beautiful bill myself, I think it's a big joke on giving the wealthy more of a tax break than worrying about the middle class and us people that are just in general having to pay more on just general pricing, and not, it's basically saying fuck the middle and low class people and say, oh, we're going to give all these incentives to big industries and give them more tax cuts. And after looking at all that, I definitely agree with what Kamala, or how you say her name? Kamala. I definitely agree with her policy a lot more, and I probably would have voted. But just like he was saying on the last conversation, depending on what the algorithm you like, and like seeing That's what you're going to see. The only thing I've seen was negative and hateful stuff, on the left side, or assuming people on the left side were doing, and then just like the left sees all the hateful shit on the right. And, it's just like y'all basically touched everything I wanted to talk about, and I forgot I was in the queue. But I guess back to my question, or not really question, I think tariffs are only good in short term, and it has to be targeted industries. But I'm not going to get way too specific on what's going on in tariffs, because I'd have to do hours of research on each individual tariff. But I think the short term, if he does short term, is going to be more beneficial for domesticated industries. And if he targeted industries, I feel like it would just help the economy in a short term. But it does raise domestic prices, and it does increase inflation, which sucks. But I don't know. I'm just kind of on the fence even on that. But I don't know. Maybe I'm going about it all wrong. Just a little bit of research I do. But I don't know. Maybe you can give me some insight on reason why tariffs are overall negatively bad, because I do have some points in times of history where tariffs did work, but it's just, I don't know. I know you said you're economic. You're going to know a lot more than I would on this.
Yeah, so targeted tariffs are supported by Democrats. They actually do in specific specialized industries for building up specialized manufacturing. I think that totally makes sense depending on the industry in terms of trying to implement specialized manufacturing. But like the ones Trump's advocating for are heavily inflationary across the whole economy because it's placed on the entirety of countries. And then the tariffs that have existed historically, they didn't provide the level of revenue that we need for our society today. We didn't have the same level of social services. So historically, we have used tariffs, but we didn't have like healthcare policy and childcare policy and housing affordability policy and Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security and all those different programs that we have now.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because I agree with the whole medical and stuff like that. Because we do need affordable health care for everybody. We do need, the deflation on housing and all that to come down. But for the most part, when y'all talk, you already kind of answered most of my questions. But I do appreciate you guys. I've been watching you and Dean for quite a bit, yeah, and I also watch Charlie and all of them, and I kind of swing on both sides. I listen to Ben Shapiro when I can while I'm working, but also, just to see both sides, because I feel like people need to have an open mind and look at both sides of the playing field before making decisions and just bandwagoning hating each other, because there's too much divide, man, and we all definitely have to come together, like you guys were saying, and have a greater understanding of what's better for all of us. But as far as supporting Trump, not really, not so much anymore. I'd probably have swung toward the left side if I would have done my research. But, we live and learn.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you coming up. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. Have a great day. Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the screen. We are just looking for some debates. W's, we love progression. We love changing. That's the reason why we do these conversations. It's so important. So important. Katrina, thank you so much for the $5.55. Thank you so much. And Shannon, thank you for the $13 on Cash App. Thank you so much. Let's go on to the next person here real quick. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen, everybody. We are just looking for some debates. Everybody. Alrighty. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Question. How does it demonstrate integrity when you're benefiting from someone that you're criticizing? I'm 35.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes.
Do you have a little bit of... Okay, it sounds like you're fine now in terms of echo. What was your question?
My question is, how does it show integrity when you benefit from someone that you're criticizing?
What do you mean?
Profiting massively off of that person who's providing you something that you're criticizing on a daily basis.
So are you?
Would you say that it's? Would you say it's government
criticize Trump
Hold on. Would you say it's government overreach to tell Pam Bundy what to do?
And by the way, are you driving?
No. I'm in my car. I'm not driving. I'm parked.
Okay, well then why do I hear like a blinker in the background?
Because I just turned on my car to charge my phone.
Okay.
Nah. So, is it government overreach to tell Pam Bundy what to do?
Is it government overreach to tell? It depends on the context. I
What
guess
do you mean
I'd
depends on the context. You're telling me that the Attorney General should be interfered with by the President of the United States and told what to do and what not to do?
I'm saying
Is that really your stance?
I'm saying in some context, the president could say they prefer a particular action. That doesn't mean the Attorney General has to do it. But Trump's already done that himself.
Right. Well, would it be government overreach for Donald Trump to sign an executive order to tell Pam Bundy what to do?
It depends on what he's specifically saying.
What do
Generally
you mean?
speaking,
It depends.
if it says that if it
role
says that
of
she
the AG should be independent.
I don't.
What?
Okay. I get
They
that you
should
have
be-
your opinion. I get that you're angry. Can I have my own opinion, or do you have to keep screaming over me?
I'm not screaming over topic.
Then let me have my opinion. You don't have to be so triggered, bro.
Oh, excuse me, I'm not triggered. What on earth? What is this hyperbolic?
Then why are you cutting me off and not letting me speak?
I'm not cutting you off, sir.
You just were.
All right, so what if I was? Like, what's the big deal? Just go ahead and say your piece.
Well, I get you're emotional. I get you're triggered, but just let me.
I'm not
finish.
emotional. Jesus Christ! What are these labels that you're putting on me? Come on, just make your point.
Doesn't sound emotional at all. So your point specifically, or my point specifically in terms of this is that it depends on the connotation of what's happening, or if it's just like sort of a claim, a preference for specifically they want, then there's no issue with that. If it's some sort of forceful action to cause them to do something against the will of the AG, I think that would definitely be something to definitely question, depending on the context of what we're referencing. But like in most circumstances, that definitely seems like an overreach.
What? The AG should be independent of the president to be able to make their own independent decisions.
Okay, so then they shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be based on the president's agenda. It should be based on whether that policy, whether their action isn't against the Constitution or that person's committing a crime. They shouldn't be the left hand that implements Donald Trump's policies. Would you agree that at least to that extent, that it shouldn't be the hand that extends Donald Trump's agenda?
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. I don't think that Donald Trump's agenda should be extended for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're benefiting from that very overreach.
How?
Right now, as we speak, you've made a shit ton of money through that government overreach. How do you think this app has been extended so many times? Can you tell me how? You seem to be very informed on what's going on. So tell me, how has this app been extended these several times that don't?
So this would be an example where I don't have an issue with the the enforcement not being enforced. I don't give a shit. I don't have an issue with them not enforcing the TikTok ban.
Of course you don't, because you're a hypocrite.
How does that make me a hypocrite?
What do you mean? You're benefiting from something that you're criticizing. Can you tell me how this app is getting extended?
I never criticized
I don't know
I never criticized Donald Trump engaging in the TikTok. I never criticized Trump.
Can you answer my question? Can you answer my question?
I never criticized Trump not enforcing the TikTok ban, so I don't see how that would make me a hypocrite. Chapis, thank you so much. Really appreciate the $34 for the 34 counts. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the $34 on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you so much. Benjamin, thank you for the $10. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Benjamin. Thank you so much. Absolutely, Benjamin. Thank you so much. And Amanda with the $25. Thank you so much, Amanda. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much, Amanda. As well as Lisa with the $11. Thank you so much, Lisa.
So can you tell me how this app has gotten extended? Exactly how? You seem to be very knowledgeable in a lot of things. Can you tell me how this app got extended?
It's just that the Trump administration is not enforcing the law. That's
what
I know.
Now be more specific. Be more specific.
I can't really go much more into specificities.
Why not? You're so informed about everything else. Why can't you be informed about this?
Because I inform myself about relevant information. No, because
you profit off of this.
I inform myself about relevant information. This isn't as relevant information about the certain process they engaged in.
What
Do
do
not
you
enforce the
mean?
TikTok ban.
Your livelihood is dependent on this platform. What are you talking
No, it's
about?
not.
You're not
No,
going to
it's not.
inform yourself? Oh, you're interrupting me now. Oh, you hypocrite. You're not.
He's so mad. My entire livelihood does not depend on TikTok. Beverly, thank you so much for the $15 on PayPal. Thank you so much, Beverly. Thank you so much. I have YouTube. YouTube is so amazing.
Why am I being muted now? What the fuck? I didn't say anything. Why am I being muted?
You did say things. Okay, you're clearly driving.
No, I'm not.
You just turned on your blinker, man. Let's go on the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Libby, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you, Libby. Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up, how old are you?
Why, hello there, good sir. How are you doing this fine afternoon?
Do you support Donald Trump?
I do.
Okay, how old are you?
Thankfully, just under 30.
Okay, why do you support Trump?
His actions and policies have made it that America is going to be very, very great. Very soon, I might add.
Okay.
Not now, of course, but soon.
When?
When he's gone. You see...
Okay, let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 18.
Do you support Donald Trump?
I do.
What's your birth year?
2006.
Okay, what month?
December.
Okay, if you could go back in time and you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, who would you vote for?
I would vote for Donald Trump.
Why is that?
My personal beliefs, I come from a Christian background. I have a lot of Christian beliefs. I think the biggest things are just the left side, overall the beliefs they have. So abortion is a big one for me.
Okay. Do you think allowing for abortion to occur is wrong?
I do. I think it's murder.
Okay. So God allowing for abortions to occur, he's doing something wrong?
So what's your history with Christianity? I can tell you something, but if you don't have background, it doesn't mean anything.
I grew up in a conservative Christian household. I probably know more about the Bible than you.
I kind of doubt that, but
Really? Can you tell me the first 4 books of the New Testament?
Yes. I'm nervous. Right? Just a second. I'm not looking up. Sorry. It's Matthew, John, Luke, and why am I forgetting? Okay, besides the point.
Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. So that's the gospel, by the way. You couldn't even tell me the gospel. What about the first 4 books of the Old Testament?
Genesis, Leviticus. Fucking, I guess. Anyway.
Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. Seemingly you don't know much about your own Bible. So yes, I do know more about the Bible than you, and yes, I am an atheist.
Okay. We'll say that. So growing up in a Christian household, you know that God doesn't control every move on earth, right?
But he allows for it to occur, correct? He gave people free will, and he allows for it to occur. So if you said allowing for abortion to occur is wrong, God allows for abortions to occur. Is that wrong?
He allows for everything to occur. He gives us free will for a reason. He gives us a choice.
Okay. So allowing for someone to get an abortion is not wrong, correct?
He's not the one doing it. When Adam and Eve sinned in the garden.
He's not the one doing it, but he's allowing for other people to do it, correct?
He's allowing for us to do what we want to do.
Exactly. So Kamala Harris is allowing for people to do what they want to do by saying it should be legal for people to get access to an abortion. So if it's not wrong for God to do it, why is it wrong for Kamala Harris to do it?
The difference is Earth is not the end goal. This is where we make a decision on heaven or hell.
What relevance does that have to whether or not it's wrong for Kamala Harris to allow for abortions to occur? Okay,
Because
Donald Trump. That's great.
She's supporting it. She's saying that it's okay. God does not say that it's okay.
You said that God specifically allowing for abortions to occur is not wrong. So how could Kamala Harris allowing for abortions to occur be wrong?
She's not just allowing it. She's promoting it and making it easily accessible.
No, she's providing legal access to abortion. That's it.
Yeah, easily accessible.
Wait, and you know that God also does that by providing people free will.
The difference is
God makes it easily accessible.
So if someone is, God allows us to do what we want to do. So, sorry, I was reading the comments. I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, so why is it wrong for Kamala Harris to allow for abortions to occur if it's not wrong for God to allow for those same abortions to occur? The exact same abortions.
Because God doesn't say it's right. God says there's sin in the world and the world is
But
evil.
he allows for it to occur, right?
Yeah, because there's a decision to be made.
Actually, you argue that it is the perfect and moral action for God to allow for it to occur, correct? So how is it not the perfect and moral action for Kamala Harris to allow it?
I'm not saying that.
Okay, so you're saying it would be the perfect and moral action for God to prevent these abortions from occurring?
What does God say about sin?
You tell me. It depends on the context. There's so much that's such a vague question, by the way.
Yeah, but it's very relevant in this conversation. I'm saying, so I think the biggest issue we're having here is you don't believe in God. I do believe in God. So it's hard to.
That's not our distinction here.
A common ground.
I'm just saying that the Bible does not justify making abortion illegal.
The Bible says that sin is wrong. And so God is not saying that what we are doing is right. What he's giving us a choice, though.
Should all sin be illegal?
Yes, I think that most of it is.
Okay, so should Donald Trump be in prison for committing adultery?
It's not proven, though.
Yes, it is. Literally,
he would be in prison if it was.
Storm. No, he wouldn't be. Adultery is not illegal. So if Donald Trump,
I thought you said rape. Sorry.
No, he was held civilly liable of sexual abuse. The reason why it wasn't a criminal court was because of statute of limitations. I'm talking about adultery, though, because adultery is a sin, correct?
Yes, it is, and he
cheated on every single one of his wives. Stormy Daniels, under oath, talked about it.
Yeah, I'm not saying that he didn't do that.
Okay, so then he should be in prison because he committed adultery.
Yeah, but it's not a law right now.
So you believe Trump should be in prison? You know what? Trump for prison 2025.
Okay.
Woo! Trump for prison 2025. Let's go. He left. Dude. Libby, thank you so much for the $10. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Josh, thank you for the $5. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Taylor, thank you for the $5. Thank you. Beverly with the $15. Thank you so much. If you want to support me, as always, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Linktree in the bio, as well as the description of the YouTube, as well as you can support me over YouTube Super Chat. Make sure to follow me here if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already as well. We have about 25 minutes left on the stream, everyone. 25 minutes left on the stream. This is going to be like probably my last conversation for today, everyone. Last conversation probably for today. If you want to support me, as always, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Linktree in the bio, as well as the description of the YouTube, as well as, again, you can support me over YouTube Super Chat. Ask Yourself, thank you for the $5. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ask Yourself. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Let's go on to this next person real quick. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. Let's go on the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Sador, thank you so much for the $3. Thank you. Thank you. Carrie, thank you so much for pushing the $3 for Trump for prison. Thank you so much. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Good evening.
Chat, what are the odds we get some crazy MAGA conspiracist that thinks I'm paid by the DNC? What are the odds? What are the odds, chat? Out of 10, what are the odds? Yo, what's up? How old are you? How old are you? 90%? 5 out of 10? Okay. 4 out of 10? Okay. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Oh, hello.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes.
What's your birth year?
2007, March.
Okay. If you could go back in time and you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, who would you vote for?
Donald Trump.
Okay. Is there a way you can get a little bit closer to your microphone?
Yeah.
Okay. Why would you support Donald Trump?
Because like with him, like we had like the best 6 months in our country.
Yeah, I think that they're a fetus too, Chad. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm wrong. I would always feel really bad if I'm wrong, but I'm typically not, I feel like. Stacy, thank you so much for the $20 on Venmo. Thank you so much, Stacy. I really appreciate it. Put some W's for Stacy in the comment section right now. Thank you. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 18.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes.
What's your birth year?
2006, September 3rd.
You would be 19. Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you? How old are you? Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
So sorry, I didn't mean to join.
You're good. Don't worry. Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Blue, thank you for the 10 pounds. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's go to the next person real quick, everybody. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. Yeah, what's up? How old are you? Paul, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you so much. I know, right? It's crazy. Like, I thought we believe in separation of church and state. You know? Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Free DD. Free DD.
So the next person, only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
What's going on, buddy?
How old are you?
What does it matter? You a fucking pedophile?
I'm asking how old you are to ensure that you can be on the TikTok
What does it matter
screen.
in the conversation that you need to know my age?
You have to be 18 years old plus to be able to be on the TikTok stream according to TikTok.
I wouldn't have the app then, right?
What? Minors have the app. Okay, can you just tell me how old you are?
Are you a pedophile?
No. Are you? You
Stop
support
asking
one.
my age.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Stop asking me my age.
Do you support Donald Trump?
I do, brother.
So why do you support a pedophile?
It's you. We could get along.
What's up?
We could get along. We're all pedophiles.
What a fucking weirdo. No, that's so gross. What the fuck, dude? Let's go on the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Let's go on the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hey, Parker, I'm 43.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes, I do.
Okay, why so?
Well, I supported him in the last election because of the two options, one was, I guess, more destructive to the system and one was more constructive. And I'm more of a tear things down type of person.
Okay, you want to tear our country down?
Some of the institutions that have kind of been baked into 20th century demands rather than, what we're dealing with today in the 21st century. I think you need to break something down before you build something up better that's more reactive to the times.
Are you from a left-wing perspective?
Mostly, yeah.
Okay, so you're willing to harm, what percent of marginalized communities, or to what degree are you willing to harm marginalized communities in order to be able to get what you want?
I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, I'm not in control of everything, but generally, I think. Would you
vote for Hitler?
Would I vote for Hitler? No.
But that wouldn't that tear down the system, though, right?
The Weimar Germany system?
Yeah, like you would have argued that back then.
What was wrong with the Weimar Germany system?
No, I'm just saying that seemingly you would have argued that because of liberal democracy.
No, I mean, if it was the fact that in the 1930s, the Weimar government was not set up to, successfully handle the Great Depression or something like that, then there might be an argument, but I don't hold that claim.
Okay, then I'll ask you, so you think that, okay, then we'll answer this question then. Would you, right now, if you could, support, like, Vladimir Putin over Kamala Harris?
No.
Why not?
I think Vladimir Putin has shown to be extremely savvy with respect to consolidating power and, subverting democratic norms within the country, and that's
Hasn't
I think
Trump
something
done that too?
I mean, you think it's
incited a violent insurrection to the Capitol and then got elected for president.
The election was the only success. I think that the insurrection was a huge failure. I think he's definitely not done a great job in terms of hiding his ability to tear down the system. He's also not gotten the popular support behind him. He's lost support nonstop. So I don't really see the comparison.
Yeah, so you're saying he's lost popular support, but you understand that since he did the insurrection, he gained popular support, right?
Right. I mean, and that was on sort of a theoretical Trump presidency and theoretically Trump coming back. But now that he's back and the actions he's taken. Well, yeah, I mean, the support that he had was not for him as a president. It was for him as a candidate. And